Ah! 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 Oh my god, it's doing the thing again, chat, where the YouTube stuff isn't coming immediately, because I see them there. Hello! Hello, YouTube chat, you're not coming through for whatever reason. So, sorry. Ah! 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 Good morning, everybody! Hello. Hello, hello, hello. There's I'm gonna have to figure out why that's happening. Hold on. Hold on, chat. Let me... Everything says it's connected. Gonna close my chat and reopen it. Maybe that'll help. Hold on, chat. Doo-doo-doo. Reload that up. Get over here. Get over here. There we go. And now I gotta resize everything. Everything's too big. Off to a shit start already, fellas. Ghoulies, often already technical problems. Can you believe it? Is it Grimm Deeds time? It is Grimm Deeds time. In a sense. I don't have a ton to preamble with you all this morning because what happened was I finished stream yesterday. Whoa, bam! Conked right out. Was done immediately. Passed the fuck out. Then I woke up this morning. Woke up tired, chat. That's how it goes, you know? Woke up fucking sleepy as shit. YouTube syncs anyways. Did you remember to turn off AI learning in your Twitch settings? I wouldn't even know where to find that. Did you remember to kickflip into bed? Ah, that's probably the problem. That's probably why I haven't woken up in the most restful state, is because I forgot to do the kickflip. Shit. But the heat's here, chat. The heat's here and the humidity's here, so it's a bitch this morning. Exactly, you gotta remember to do that, man. You won't sleep tight. I know, it's unbelievable. I'm such a fool. I've just got so much on my plate. Don't you understand, chat? Don't you get it? What am I to do? One momento. Sorry, I was fixing something. Trying to wake myself up by continuing my comic. Well, that's a good way to do it. The heat from thoughts of many people thinking about Gravekeeper in a swimsuit. Desmond, we can't go back there. You turn around and you get out of here. Go on now. Get on out of here. But no, yes. Stuff's going along, chat. I don't have any kind of prepared illustration for us today, unfortunately. So we'll be doodling a bunch as I talk today instead, which no one really cares about, to be honest, but I don't think anyone's really gonna mind. But there's also a level of, you know, I gotta get used to drawing these guys again. I've fallen out of practice drawing the old Grimm Deeds cast. I mean, it'll be really funny. Unbelievable. Did I miss something last stream? I wasn't there because the new Blossom grew in. I mean, you missed 6 hours, so that's what you missed. There's always something that happens. There's always something, chat. The old Grimm Deeds cast proceeds to draw main character as old people, just like shriveled up. Just shriveled up versions of themselves, little raisins. Grimm Deeds, let's go. Yeah, everyone misses them. Everyone misses the Grimm Deeds kids. And co. Let's see. Grimm who? Huh? What? Buga? You guys talking about something? What the? Grimm Deeds, never heard of them. What? I don't care if you go and tend to the new idea in your brain. I'm just saying, like, you're bound to miss something by the pure fact that it was 6 hours of me talking. Like, how important what you missed is irrelevant. It's just you're going to miss something. That's a long time for a person to talk about nothing. And yet somehow I manage. Curious that. Yeah, might be. We'll see if it ends up being so, but might be a chiller stream today, chat, because I'm just a little sleepy. I see what you did. I see the new emotes. You think sub requirements can stop me? No. Oh yeah, I guess I should bring that up. There we go. Yeah, yeah, new emotes, guys. I put in some new emotes. I'm just missing the dead Mac because I don't have access to that. Emily drew that one. But we got some new emotes in there. I figured out some stuff about it, so this will be good for Friday. We're maxed out on our free emotes. Every other one has to be a subscription one. Every other one has to be subscriber based, so we got like 14 animated animated emote slots and like 6 still for the standard ones. So we've got lots to play with. Again, love your guys' suggestions for them in the I think in the Discord. I've got like a little section. Yeah, put them your emotes in the spooky suggestions, fellas. That's where I'd like you to put those. Because I'll probably add them to the I'll probably add them to the fucking to the graveyard as well, so you guys have access to them on the Discord. Wait a minute. Hold on a second, chat. I just realized something. Chat, I think... God, I'm stupid. I think I know... Hold on, chat. Where do I find my... It gave me my chat, but it didn't give me my combined chat. It gave me my not combined chat. Of course. I am but a fool. Oh, what is going on today? What is happening? It's all broken, chat. It's all fucked. Oh god, no. Oh shit. Alright, I'm just gonna have to go through this one. But jeez. At least you guys are having fun with the emotes, I guess. Enjoying yourselves. A lot of silly, goofy expressions for chat. It's true. It's true. But okay. We're gonna... Yeah, there you go. Get the little flip in. Whee! Whoa! Yippee! But let's just pop in, yeah? Let's just get in there. Given I don't really have anything to do. I'm starting to set up, there we go. Come on. There we go. Something I'll have to fix after stream. Ugh! Hate technical problems. Ugh! Awful. So unprofessional. Makes me grumble, makes me groan. But I'm starting to set up files, doodle files for all my stream scribbles. If you can just give me a second so I can save the damn thing. There we go. There we go. Wish I could use those most, but I have to pay. I don't want to save my money for food. Well, I mean, you can use points, I believe. That's how they're unlocking them. But yeah, it's not like I can make them free. I have 5 slots total for free ones. You don't get any more. Yeah, you don't get any more by like any more slots for them. So those 5 is what you get. That, you know, nothing I can really do for you there. Also, I found out, I kind of was like doing a little looking in the background chat and figuring out how stuff worked on the Twitch backend. Apparently, also, it's like, these emotes are subscription based too, so we get more the more subscribers we have. I think the next one we get another animation slot, so once we hit the next goal for subs or whatever. But that's kind of neat. Sup, dude? Not much. Also, Enzo, you don't have to. You don't have to be a bitch all the time. You can be nice to me every now and again. It is allowed. It is allowed. I started up stream and I'm immediately like, oh fuck, I'm overwhelmed now. But where to begin, chat? I guess like as a big brief overview of what Grimm Deeds is, because there are people here who don't know. There is actually people here who probably don't know. Grimm Deeds is sort of like, I don't know if I'd say it's the thing that quote unquote brought me to prominence for people. I probably wouldn't say that. But it is, I think, the one that ends up having most people sticking around. It is a story of mine that I've had for ages. Second story I ever even, like, thought about, making. And it's about this boy here. This boy, Corny, is his name. And he's got them special eyes. You know? It's a little bit more than just special eyes. He's got a special soul. But you can see it in his eyes. You know, he's got those little weirdo eyeballs. I'm just here for the food. I don't feed you people. I don't give you people meals. What the? There's catering? Since when has there been fucking catering? You like the animated one? There you go. Look at him go. Woohoo! Cornelius Flakes Jr. Look with your special eyes. My brand! Yeah, exactly. Wrong, we have the slime, the goo, even. Mike, no! No, Mike, no! Stop putting it in your mouth! You must cease this. But yeah, it's about, this lad, Corny, who, I'm gonna do my thing, you know, chat? I'm gonna do the thing where I grab a bunch of old images and go, look at this thingy! Guys, look at this thing here! Because that's what I find is the best way to explain all this shit to people. But this boy with special eyes is taken. Oh, I see why this is happening. I was like, why isn't stuff the way I remember it in my file folder? But I changed how it was organized. There we go. But yeah, here's this boy with special eyes, and his whole little thing is he likes to help little ghosts and spirits and stuff. That's what he does with his fucking free time, you know? Probably doesn't run into this guy very much, but he will later. You know, he doesn't run into something like this. It's mostly ghosts. But he's been doing that, right? And then one of these times he runs into he has a choice encounter with a Grimm Reaper, with the Grimm Reaper right here, this big boy. This is Casper. And Casper's like, "Yo, dude, you got specialized." And Corny goes, "Yeah." And he's like, "You want to help me save the cosmos, save everything?" And Corny's like, "Yeah." And so he's taken under his wing in an apprenticeship. And so Doug Grimm Reaper? Yes, in fact. John Reaper. Where did Cornelius get that scythe? It would have been given to him. But this little scythe, if I decide that he has a little training one, would be given to him by Casper. It's not like Corny would have just had it. It wouldn't be like Corny was just handed this, like he found it in a ditch somewhere. It would be that he was given it by Casper to prep him for the "Here, kid, have a sharp blade." Yeah. Yeah. You'll be fine. Do you not trust a 12-year-old with a knife? Are you kidding me? I was using knives when I was 12. You just watch. You just make sure you just be careful. But yeah, Corny goes on these things called deeds, where he deals with rips in the fabric of reality to a place called the spirit world, and he deals with ghosts, and he's kind of just the whole thing with the Grimm Reaper in this world is it's not so much the Grimm Reaper isn't the manifestation of death. Grimm Deeds, yeah, one might say. But yeah, the Grimm Reaper isn't the manifestation of death. He deals with lots of dead things, but the Grimm Reaper's station is more of kind of helping the natural process of death along, so it's less damaging to the cosmos as a whole. Time to grim those deeds. Like Yu Yu Hakusho without the spirit guns and anime babes. By the way, Grave Grime, I have a question for you. Okay, what's your question? What could it be? What could your little question be? Oh, it's above? Oh, how long ago did you conceive of Grimm Deeds, or when did the kernel of what it would become pop up? Oh, it would be 14 years ago now. Probably a little more than 14 years ago, because I conceived of the initial idea in the summer. So no, it might be just about 14 years. Might be just about 14 years now that I've had this idea in some form or another. It came about when I was working my summer job. I was mowing the lawn, and my brain went, "Oh, what would the like death be if it was just a guy, like just like an actual human person, you know? How would that kind of weigh on like how would that individual view things?" And from that, and then it was like, oh, and if he's just a guy, like, what if he had like a family and an apprentice, and all at the same time? Like, oh, death isn't permanent. Death also dies, was kind of the idea. What if death was a guy, and because he's a guy, he will technically also die at some point? So what if he also then needed to be replaced? Because you can't have, you know, everything dies eventually, and so a Grimm Reaper's got to be around. And so what if he has to train someone to that? How would someone kind of take to that idea? It was a whole bunch of stuff like that, and I was like, well, okay, how do those stack up? And then yeah, it became, oh, he's like a normal guy, and he actually really enjoys life, which is why he took on this role of the Grimm Reaper. And what if he had like a family? And so that's where Lynette comes from. Is like, oh, what if the Grim Reaper had a family? And it's just a big old kind of slow build of that. This was over the course of like a single afternoon while I was mowing my boss's lawn, basically. But yeah, and then it's kind of sprawled out from there over many iterations, because Grimm Deeds now is not like Grimm Deeds it was before. It was very much a silly Saturday morning cartoon style thing, initially, and has kind of grown into a much more, I want to say complicated. It is more complicated, but more of, it's a very serialized concept now. It's a story. It's not like an episodic entertainment tale. It is something I'm trying to say something with, which is sort of partially why I've had to kind of step back when I realized things weren't as clear as I necessarily wanted and start to like organize them again. Pray to the Lord Honeybun. What's up, you cheeseburger bagel with side of fried onions and some chocolate milkshake, streamer? What is that? Like, I'm a full meal? That's either calling me fat or I'm a full meal of a streamer. Like, I'm like main course, fast food. You calling me slop? Honey bun, you calling me slop? When it comes to how you view writing, was your perspective formed naturally over time from all the media you were consuming, or was it something you studied like from books, classes, a meal? Okay. Alright. We'll go with that. Thank you, but you're on thin fucking ice. Studied like books, classes, or even your own profession. A little bit column A, a little bit column B. When I was, so I initially, like I've said before, I initially wanted to be like a film director and make movies. And then I found out how much I have to rely on other people for that, and I went into animation like a fucking, well, actually I went into just drawing first, because I was like, I can do that myself, and then went into animation, because I was like, oh no, I could do that myself too. Like a fool. Like a fucking fool. I'm tired of those basic hellos and trying something different. Well, you got a response. Welcome to this disaster of a stream that I run. But where was I? But yeah, so, and because of that, I was sort of starting to grow my own perspective of how stories should be done and stuff like that. Pair that with the fact that I was an avid reader as a kid. I read so many fucking books. It was just kind of like a natural build. But then when I was like, oh, I want to be a director and stuff, I watched tons upon tons of just like YouTube videos of people talking about the process. So I can't say it's like entirely just down to myself figuring things out. It's me figuring things out, getting bits of information from other people, and then like making my own conclusions from that information they provide me, and things like that. Like I would do a lot of technical knowledge searching, like, oh, how do you format your scripts, how do you like format shots, what do shots tend to mean, stuff like that. And using that information, it helped inform me what I was kind of trying to do. And then it just became a matter of figuring out how I feel story structure should operate, I suppose. Like the things, because anything that's a craft, right, it has to have sort of better practices and worse practices, to varying, extents. But given that writing is a craft, it therefore also has to have aspects like that as well. So it was kind of figuring out a standard that made sense to me. So yeah, I guess a little bit of column A, column B. Because actually, in terms of like my formal education, we didn't actually do a whole lot in terms of storytelling. It was a lot of like, oh, just this is because again, my college courses, it was just a year. It was a cram course in 2D animation. They just taught me how to make the thingies move. They didn't teach me about like how to format stories or anything. A lot of that has just been me figuring it out on my own. And like, you know, with friends and stuff and talking about it. I used to frequent big storytelling groups and we talked about it all the time. Oh, I come back to writing talk? Yes, you do. So I hope that answers your question there. Speaking of writing talk, I suppose that's why we're all here, right? Because Grimm Deeds. And its ever-changing nature. So the funny thing about it, I guess, chat, is breathe easy. We're not really losing any characters here. We're not gonna be losing, you know, we're not losing a Lynette, we're not losing a Corny, we're not losing a Casper, we're not losing a Shade. Like, these characters are staying, because I don't think Grimm Deeds is Grimm Deeds without them at this point. They might have a little bit of change in like the minute specifics of their goals and backstories, but it won't be anything too much. It's mostly, if there's any kind of larger changes, it'll be about world building stuff. Because what I found, chat, looking back, after Fairywood's completely cooked my brain, you know, opened my third eye to this writing shit. What's crack-a-lackin', Grime? Well, I'm just trying to desperately talk about Grimm Deeds and not sound like a complete clown. Failing so far. What's crack-a-lackin', Grime? Oh wait, you just said that. I just read the same thing. I meant to read the one from Honey Bun. My question is, are you a waffle person or a pancake person? Both are good, but I prefer waffles. I like the crunch. And then sort of French toast floats around nebulously between the two. Sometimes it's my favorite, sometimes it's not, but it wasn't an option. You ever read Anatomy of a Story by John Turby? I have not. No. I never read like, oh, here's how to write a storybook. That's never been sort of how I gain information. I haven't really read tutorial books or things like that ever. Most of my mindset in that regard just comes from watching, like, just reading and watching lots of stories and then random like discussions amongst my peers. Shut up, Emily. Shut your mouth. Imagine reading that. It's not even, I don't even think it's a bad thing to read. It's just not something I've done. I think the one I've read the most is like, a lot of his tips you can see in many films, but that doesn't, so that's a funny thing, Enzo, because just because you could see lots of tips from a person in things, could be it's bad tips. All we know. Tell me a joke and you will get a new follower. Okay. Well, this is going to be a really this might be a tough thing to handle depending on your circumstance, but I'm going to need you to get up and go find a mirror, and then you'll find your joke. There you go. There you go, honey buns. It was you! The joke was you the whole time! I don't give in to demands. Thank you for the follow. Pray for the Lord Honey Buns. Thank you. But anyway, chat. What I was talking about with Grimm Deeds. I can't remember if I've talked about it on stream, but Grimm Deeds has always been. I approve of this joke. You look at that, just sounds like you looked in the mirror, saw yourself, and went, yes. You know what? That one's all right. That one's okay. I'm getting a water. Hold on, chat. I like that whenever I get a water, I just walk off screen and hope you can hear me. Is there any movie that's so bad it motivates you to write some narrative piece, even if it's as small as OC lore? For me, it's The Rise of Skywalker. Lots of things do that to me. It works both ways. Both a good thing and the, good things and bad things both kind of push me in that direction. But yeah, absolutely, there's been stuff that's so bad it's made me go, holy fuck. This was awful. I had them. My first story, actually, I've ever sort of put together is built out of spite because I kept watching so many terrible, awful horror movies. I was like, why is this what they think is scary? I should, or like what horror is, I should try and create something that's a bit more meaningful than just, oh hey, scary killer man. So, like it says a bit more about the human condition. So, you know, that's, yes, it's kind of what got me into storytelling. Have you seen the channel Lessons from the Screenplay? Breaks down screenplays of films and shows how important they are to the final product. I have not, but I have watched, like, behind-the-scenes stuff and things like that. I really haven't, especially nowadays, I really don't watch too many, like, breakdowns and stuff. I just watch things and break them down on my own. I'm sort of practicing. I'm doing that practice now myself. It's why after I've watched like a Pixar movie, I'll come here and I'll talk to you guys about it because I've done the sort of breakdown bit as I was watching it, and I'm like, oh well, I can tell people about it now. Yeah. Almost everyone has some god-awful thing that spurred them onto creativity, I imagine. Probably. Love that channel, it's very interesting. Brian runs on fuck you energy confirmed. No, actually, not actually true at all, Mike. I don't really, in a weird way, I'm quite isolated when it comes to making stories. Super Mario Galaxy movie almost did this, I say. That's fair, I think. That's fair. But, I'm quite isolated in my creative process. It's very like, oh, I'm just thinking about my thing and trying to sort of say what I want to say with it, if that makes sense. I'm trying to think of like, oh, would this be an interesting scenario? I don't really think about stories in terms of like, he doesn't like I don't think about things in terms of tropes or standard story beats, really. I kind of think of stuff in like a, oh, like what now? If I want to say something, how am I going to say that? What would be an effective and kind of interesting way to say that? And how can I sort of build that out? You know. I go. You know what, chat? You know what, chat? I'll give like an example. From Grimm Deeds, might as well, right? Given we're here scribbling it. With Grimm Deeds, there's a moment where you know, Lynette is going to. I'm gonna try to scribble a Lynette really quick. It's gonna look terrible, but is what it is. Fucking. God damn it. Oh yes, that's what the hats look like. But Lynette goes to like a magic school. And that's sort of like a big choice for her because she's always self-taught herself, barring some obvious kind of help from her father. She's mostly been a self-taught person. She reads the books and does the thing the book says and tries to gain knowledge that way. But she eventually goes to a magical school, and it's sort of putting her on an arc of her coming out of that very isolated shell a bit more, with kind of average strangers, not people that she has spent genuine, like a huge amount of time with at this point, being, you know, Casper and Corny and stuff. So her doing this is a big step, and I was like, okay, something has to happen to like get her to that point. What would that be? And it's ended up being that she has her mask taken away. She loses her mask, trying essentially, because she has a bit of a complex to her, Lynette. She kind of simultaneously she has a bit of doublethink going on, where she simultaneously sees herself as very, very competent, but also is quite self-conscious about that fact. And she has that kind of push to deal with Bia and Warner. Like it kind of makes her overconfident. She's like, I can deal with them, it's fine, whatever. They're just like randos. They're not, you know, the daughter of Del Reaper kind of thing. But Warner wipes the fucking floor with her. And a thing with Warner is he kind of can tell what's a magical artifact, what Lynette's mask is. And he basically goes like, you tried to kill me. You can't be trusted with this artifact. I'm taking it away. And he takes her mask away. And that's a big eye-opening moment for her. To sort of, the fact that she still has quite a long ways to go, and eventually ends up leading her to the decision that I need to go to like some magical school to get better, because I can't just do I can't just do this anymore. Like I'm a failure basically. Oh, hold on. Well, honey, let me tell this little bit, honey bun, and then I'll give you a kind of an intro. But yeah, she has her mask taken, and it's like, oh, fuck. But my thought process wasn't kind of thinking of that event. I didn't really have any storytelling practices in my head. I was just like, this is something I would like to do with the character. It says something about her. How can I make it something that's like vaguely interesting conceptually? And how can I use it to push her along as, like, how can I make it so it pushes her along as a character, as opposed to just some random thing happens? Let me try and do multiple things with this opportunity if I can. Because her going to magic school sets up an awful lot of things. It also sets up sort of a change in Warner's demeanor. It sets up a whole whack of stuff. It's a very pivotal point in the story, honestly. But it starts off as just, oh, well, I wanted her to lose her mask, because that's gonna say something. And I also wanted her to get her ass kicked to, kind of elucidate that she's not, she's got a long way to go. She's not top of the pyramid, really. There's lots of things out there that she needs to still worry about. But, yeah, none of it was really going like, oh, well, this is a trope that I must, you know, this is a trope in storytelling. I'm just kind of going, you know? Makes sense. Sounds like a cool character arc for her. See, this little punk had to knock her back down a couple of pegs. True. Was the isolation derived from her relationship with her father? Incidentally, I suppose. Incidentally. I would say incidentally. I wouldn't say it is a direct cause. It's just, it didn't help. It didn't help. All right, but anyway, I gotta give the brief rundown for the newbie. Hi, Gravekeeper. Grave Grime, character that you're seeing on the screen right now, yapping, Gravekeeper. Different, kind of. Different enough, but yeah. So what we do here is mostly I just draw about my own and talk about my own original stuff. Yammer on about it, things like that. we do lots of art, things from these random doodles like I'm doing now to fuller illustrations and stuff like that. And I mostly just spend the time ranting about media or writing and just kind of talking about what I'm doing with my characters and stuff. There's like vague plans for other kinds of content here, but that's the meat and potatoes for sure. It's mostly just me drawing my little things. Sometimes I'll do like request streams and things. I like to make him yap. Yeah, it's mostly yapping as I draw. That's most of what we do here. So I hope that's a good enough rundown. I don't think I'm a particularly complicated, I guess, streamer, really. I think what I do, you can get just by watching a stream, really. I take questions from chat, I yell at them, I scream, I rage, I go, ah! I make dumb noises. There you go. If you love your character, remember to get their ass kicked from time to time. It's not about the ass kicking. You know what I mean? That's not the important part. Because there's lots of different ways I could have gone about showcasing this. It didn't have to be a fight. It could have just been, oh, she loses at a competition or something. It could have had the same effect. The actual events isn't the important part of this scenario. The important part is what it's doing to her Lynette's character, and all the other factors it's pushing as well. The reason why it's a fight is because it brings a conclusion to sort of the Warner and Bia arc. It pushes that onto its next stage. Her wanting to get better at magic. Lynette has this whole thing with weakness. She has this entire complex about being capable enough to defend herself and to protect herself and to not essentially have her father have to do it for her. So she has a whole thing about that because she doesn't really want to take up his time because he's a busy man being the Grimm Reaper and all. It's how does this affect it's how this affects the character and why, and also what does it do to the broader story. Like a fight isn't just a fight. Also, I just realized we hit 620 followers. Let's go. Thank you guys. But like it's not a fight isn't just a fight ever. And if you're just making a fight to make a fight in your story, I would say you're probably doing it wrong. Because fighting is storytelling. Fighting is a way the best stories use their fights to tell you significantly more about what's going on and the characters themselves. Every choice that happens in a fight tells you about the character. And also, like, there's no reason you can't use that to then, like, push things along in the story as well. It's kind of what I always say, try and have your scenes do multiple things. A fight scene should be doing multiple things and not just being a bunch of action figures bumping against each other and explosions happening. In my opinion, anyway. I think because you can have all the characters bumping against each other and exploding buildings and doing cool shit, but like you can also have it mean something more on top of that, and I just can't see why that wouldn't be an improvement over just bumping the action figures together. You know what I mean? How does Lynette react to her father taking interest in another kid that being Cornelius? I mean, like, Lynette isn't... If you're asking essentially, like, is she jealous of Corny? No. She dislikes Corny for other reasons. She doesn't dislike Corny because, oh, you're taking my dad away. Because she kind of... Lynette's very you know what? This is a good way to segue into some of the sort of changes with Grimm Deeds, is because one of the biggest things about stories, chat, right, is, and this story, right, is I'm trying to say something with Grimm Deeds. I'm trying to tell you something with it. And I realized my message was very confused, and it has been very confused, in a sense. I didn't have, like, this unifying... I look for a unifying word or phrase that, like, sort of solidifies in my brain what this story is about. And the ones for Grimm Deeds, they never felt right. And there was, like, multiple. There's, you know, life is what you make of it. Obviously, a story about death is also going to say quite a bit about life. I think that's obvious and inevitable. But it was like, you know, fucking life's what you make of it. That works for some characters. It doesn't work for others. There was consequences. And there's a fucking another one. I can't remember it off the top of my head right now. Oh no. But I was chatting with it with some friends. I was just trying to talk away about this problem with friends, and Emily brought up the word fulfillment and all of its various definitions, and that's kind of where things have turned. Grimm Deeds is a story about fulfillment and what fulfillment kind of means, how to be, like, what it means to be fulfilled, how that kind of manifests, sort of the things we go to find it, that sort of deal. But Lynette doesn't, like, lose Lynette doesn't lose, like, that sort of aspect of fulfillment. She doesn't get fulfillment from the idea of her, like, being the Reaper one day, because Lynette knows she'll never be the Reaper. She doesn't have the special eyes required, you know? And she's known that. She wants to help, but, like, she knew she was never going to take Casper's place. That's like a pipe dream for her. So when Corny comes along, she's like, well, yeah, but why did it have to be this dingus? You know what I mean? That's her issue. It's like, why did it have to be this dingus? It's not, oh, he's taking my papa away. It's, again, it's multiple other reasons why she's annoyed by that. Does Lynette beat up bad guys, or does she angrily stare at them to death? Lynette beats up guys, I guess. I won't say good guys or bad guys, just, that's another aspect, because the idea of consequences doesn't really go away with Grimm Deeds. That's still there. And sometimes, you know, they're not always the good guys in these scenarios, or I guess what we would perceive as the good guys. The Grimm Deeds cast, the crew, their whole deal is kind of keeping the cosmos safe on a macro scale, which sometimes means on a micro scale, innocent good people who didn't mean to do something wrong end up having the short end of the stick there. But yes, she does in fact beat people up. She does not just stand there and say, I mean, I guess technically she beats them up by standing there and staring, because she casts magic with her mind, so she doesn't really have to move, you know? So I guess kinda. Man, this podcast is hitting me. I guess good. I'm glad. There's so many other good options. Why him of all people? Well, that's the issue, Desmond, is there's not any other good options. Corny's has an incredibly unique soul. They are very uncommon, even in the cosmos. So, there's actually no other better option. Give this guy a Shopify sponsorship? Is that like a really common podcast sponsorship? Is Shopify? Yes, Corny's very special. Huh. I'm gonna be real, guys. I only vaguely know what Shopify even is. I assume it's just like a shopping app. Like, I assume it's just a place you can go to buy things, but I don't actually know, guys. I'm not quite sure. It's a shop where people shop. I don't know. Specialist little guy, but still like just a guy. Yes, Corny is just I feel like saying Corny's just a guy, though, is a little unfair to him. Corny of my characters is probably one of my favorites. He's got an awful lot going on, and I think his... he looks very unassuming in playing, but he's very interesting as a fella. I like how he thinks. He has his own unique way of thinking about things and dealing with stuff, and he's got a lot of little things going on inside that brain. But yeah, I guess that's another factor of I'm doing this little chain thing up here because one of the aspects of fulfillment, right, is there's also fulfillment in a contract sense, like fulfilling a contract. And in my brain, philosophically, I'm just thinking like, well, humans, like, people take oaths to find fulfillment all the time. And I already have, like, this concept of contracts with spirits. So, I'm playing around with that idea now about what contracts kind of mean. And, you know, oaths and things like that. Like, the Grimm Reaper himself is an oath taker. He takes an oath to the mortem to, kind of help restore the cosmos to what it was. Or I guess not even restore the cosmos to what it once was, but to stop the great sin that they caused. The mortem themselves have made a massive oath that has turned them all into these spirits of pure magic and shit like that. Like, there's so much stuff about it in the story already. I'm just now playing into it more. And one of those things is just this idea of, you know, the chains that bind us and stuff like that, how to play with that. Because also, another thing with, like, ghosts and stuff, because they're going to be dealing with tons of ghosts, right, chat? They're all doing these, like, these kind of... Ghosts are always tied to a location, right? They're tied to something that's not letting them move on, so there's lots to do with that as well. Yeah, absolutely they're ghost hunters. Does Cornelius think he's just a guy? Cornelius thinks he's just a guy, but he's, like, weird. He thinks he's a weird guy because he can see ghosts and no one else can. Because the thing is, like... Corny has all of this, he has like a ton of abilities that he's not even aware of because he's just lived with it and no one else also has these abilities. So he just thinks it's normal, but it's not. And there's lots of them that are very passive. Like, many of his abilities are very passive. They're not an active thing he has to do. They're just there. And so he doesn't really even realize that he's different. But, you know, grave grind. But, you know, spending all day hurting innocent people for the greater good can build up an appetite. This is why Grimm Deeds crew would love today's sponsor, Blue Apron. What's the fucking Hunger Box one? What's the like loot crate but for meals? Really? Passive ability? Well, the fact he could see ghosts alone, Enzo, is a passive ability. He doesn't like have to focus on seeing a spirit or feeling a spirit. He just does. When there's something strange and the Ghostbusters are MIA, who are you gonna call? That Blue Apron is the loot crate one? I see, okay. Give this guy a hot dog. Oh, fuck. I haven't had a hot dog in a while. I wouldn't mind one. He's not just a guy, he's just a little guy? Yeah, in a lot of ways. I think so. Corny's a very sweet boy. When there's something weird and it don't look good, that's just grave grime. It's true. That is true. It is just me. But that's awful because I just imagine like that's just grave grime and it's just the gravekeeper smiling. Lynette doing an ad read is such a funny image. I don't know how you'd be able to force her to do that. She couldn't see the point in it, and so I don't know if she ever would. But we need money, Lynette. We need funding, and she would just be like, but why does this get us money? It doesn't make any sense. She's quite isolated from the concept of ads, chat, so you'll have to forgive her. This. Need to shorten her. There we go. Small. There we go. Small. Are you a ketchup, mayonnaise, or mustard type of person? On a hot dog, I'll probably go ketchup and mustard. But if I had to choose only one, I'd probably go with mustard. It's contractually obligated to. If she doesn't, we're gonna fire her dad. I'm gonna be real. She'd probably be okay if you fired her dad. Because now her dad gets to hang out with her more. The most dejected ad read this following week, the sponsor pulls out. It would just be like, it wouldn't even be an ad read. She'd just be like, we get paid money if we tell you to buy this, so buy it. And then she'd leave. And then she'd fucking leave. That's just how it would go. You might as well just, like, why would you want to get Lynette to do it anyway? Get, like, Casper to do it or something. Casper would do a great ad read. He'd have so much fun with that shit. Because the Casper, it's like, well, I get why we need to do it, so, like, I'm gonna have fun with it. This is gonna be great. Casper would do fantastic. He'd be so jolly. Hi there, I'm the Grimm Reaper. Oh, no. Oh, no, I thought of something awful. Whoa! Oh, yeah. Well, that's a fucking raid. Hello, everybody. Also, wait, a raid party of 69? Nice. Hello, everyone. Stacy raid. Cats shall take over the world. I don't know. I've got a couple of cats, and they're not the brightest. Nice, nice, nice. Hello, raiders. How's it going? Now I'm just like, do I say the horribly cursed joke about one of my characters? Or do I just hold off because there's so many new people who have no context for any of it? Say? I just thought about the ad read or whatever, and the most cursed possible one is like, hi, I'm the Grimm Reaper. I'm Casper. You might know me as the Grimm Reaper. And if death's got you down, I was wondering if you've considered BetterHelp. Casper, no! Casper, no! That's the bad one! No! Well, hello. Do you pronounce your name Stackry? Are you Stackry? How do we pronounce you? Casper, you can't. You'll get canceled. Someone should clip that. No, they shouldn't. People shouldn't do that. 97 viewers, sweet mother of pearl. Yeah, most of them came from others, but holy welcome, fellows. I do, hi, I'm Gravegrime. Or the Gravekeeper, either or works. And, I draw original stuff. That's what I do. And, I'm just kinda, we're doing a recap yap of one of my stories at the moment. Stakery? Okay, Stakery. But some call me Steak. Okay. Well, I can call you Stakery. That's fine by me. Let's push it to 100. 100 viewers would be fucking nuts. But welcome. Yeah, I do original stuff, so I'm just kind of, we're doing a big old recap because I haven't talked about this particular story in a while because I have a couple of them. I've got a couple of them, chat, and this one is Grimm Deeds. It's about this lad here. You know what? We'll do the thing again, chat. We'll do the thing again. It's about this boy right here, Corny, and he's got special eyes, chat. You see, he's got special eyes and a special little soul. And he has an encounter with this fellow, the Grimm Reaper. His name is Casper. Gets taken under his my brand. Gets taken under his wit. Oh wait, I'm banishing you to the ads. I'm sorry. Goodbye. I should have paused them, but I missed it. Fuck. There they go. There they go, chat. I salute. We lost like 40 people. They all just... Oh, God! Funny how you said that right when my ads end. What the fuck? Okay, well, wait, hold on. Maybe they were already in the ads and now they're not. I don't know. I don't know how to read this shit. I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, anyway. Boy with special eyes meets with the Grimm Reaper, and the Grimm Reaper takes him under his wing as an apprentice. Because, the whole thing with the Grimm Reaper in this story is, he's not really death itself. He's just like some guy who kind of helps the kinks in death when they show up. And, you know, he's a dude, so he's gonna die someday. And because of that, he needs to, you know, find an apprentice eventually. And who better than this little idiot? They're not very common, so you take what you can get. But because of that, him and Corny there has to go embark on various deeds dealing with like ghosts and spirits and other spooky kind of spooky adventures and stuff like that. Nice be not afraid variant. Yeah, there you go. If Casper did the ad read on camera, would it be in the Reaper fit or just casual attire? Just because him saying, hi, I'm the Grimm Reaper makes me wonder. I could imagine him starting out being like, hi, I'm Casper. You know, as like, how, yeah, I guess I should pull up. Casper's not always in his cloak, newbies. He's got a normal look. I say normal. He's got a normal look. Either one is kind of a normal look for him, but, you know, he's got like a person look. But I would imagine him, and as the old man, he's like, hi, I'm Casper. And then he would shift into the Reaper when he says, I'm the Grimm Reaper. You might know me as the Grimm Reaper kind of thing. Whoa! We did it, guys! We got 104! Do you have to raid and run, but would love to hear more about your overseas lore in the future. Oh, well, stick around then. We had 104 viewers for a moment there. Stick around. That's what we talk about here. We got a couple of tales that we go over, and I'll tell the rest of it to the to your lovely chat if they want to stick around and listen. But thank you for showing up. Well, it was 104, but now it's back down to 89. It was for a moment, but it was there. I had it in my hands. Yeah, this is Casper. Today is the day you touch the heavens. Wait, can I be not lovely? I guess you can be. What do you mean? What do you mean by that, honey bun? Everyone here is rancid. It's fine. But yeah, so Reaper takes him under his wing, and Corny has to go on these adventures dealing with ghosts and spirits across the vast cosmos, and learn a little bit about life along the way. And this is Casper's daughter. This is Lynette. She is not a skeleton. She just wears a mask. I always have to say that first. Not actual skeleton. Wears skeleton mask. It's a family heirloom, chat. It's very important to her. Nah, I don't need to pull that up. But, yeah. The cosmos is in peril, chat. There's your thrust. There's your hook. Casper pulls Corny under his wing because the cosmos is in peril and he needs his help. He needs his special eyes. So, I don't know what's happened to me over the last couple streams, but I feel like my pitches have gotten worse. I don't know what's going on. But hey, I guess stick around, guys, and maybe I'll end up yammering about something you enjoy. Am I a fan of the Grimm Adventures of Billy and Mandy? I definitely was when I was younger. I still like it quite a bit, but looking back, it does not hold up as well as it used to. We need your help, Corn Fox. Andrus has declared war. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. You fried your brain on making a giant presentation and now trying to explain things with extensive information visual aids feels foreign. Kinda. I would like to do an actual Grimm Deeds presentation at one point, mostly just because I think it would be fun. Not because I necessarily think I need to do it. But, there's a ton of people in here. Many of them don't know anything about my stories. Which also, you know, lurkers, if you want to ask questions, feel free. I'm all about them questions. But yeah, no one kind of knows about it. So I'm in this sort of phase of like, I don't want to tell you guys the same thing too many times over and over again. But at the same time, I'm telling many of you like new information. And also many of you have probably forgotten old information because it's been ages. When was the last time I talked about Grimm Deeds on a fucking stream, dude? It's been ages. It's been all art fight and shit. Not that I'm really complaining about that, but... There we go. I wanted to get at least something colored on the board, chat, so... There, we got a Lynette in the outfit she'll wear at school. The school uniform. And she's not happy about it. Cool. Grumble, grumble. Very Blackwell blue for real. I just go with so I have like color notes of the various factions in this story, and the Magi have blue and yellow and orange in their color palette a lot. That's why Bia and Warner have their sort of blue capes and stuff. Technically their uniform. But where the hell was I before we got hit by the raid? I was talking about oaths and such. So, I have to actually write down my thoughts to solidify them a little bit more. I've only really, I think I've only really talked about it with Emily at this point. I think I've only really discussed them with Emily. So, there's definitely a lot I need to nail down, but I do think it's going to give a lot of focus to stuff. And I can start thinking about locations, because the thing about Grimm Deeds is it's a very big world. There's lots of different planets, places they'll go to explore and deal with issues. Very curious to see Lynette's reverse humbling that you briefly mentioned in a previous stream. I don't think I've ever seen a story handle something like that, not well at least. Reverse humbling as in like... Do you mean like her coming out of that sort of self-doubt she's dealing with? Like her essentially learning that, I guess like her kind of learning that she's not, that she's actually like quite competent. She's not sort of a baseline. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting, it'll be an interesting thing, I think, for sure, to mess around with, because I agree, I don't think I've ever seen anything like it either, but it's just because she needs to learn it, is the thing. She thinks, and it's going to actually end up making her a better person, because simply being humble, chat, isn't enough to be a good person. It's simply not. The issue with Lynette is she thinks she's a baseline. She thinks she is the bottom, but she's not. She's a prodigy when it comes to magic. She's quite good at it innately. Other people don't have that. So really, her understanding what her position is giving her a better perspective on what other people's positions is as well, and therefore she can treat them accordingly. It's not really the idea for her to see that and then be like, oh, so I'm just better than everyone, ha ha ha. It becomes, oh, I'm better than everyone. Fuck. You know, it's like, oh shit, wait a minute. It's not that they're stupid. It's just I'm really good at this and they're not, and they need my help. And so she ends up, you know, learning to help. Takes notes, don't be humble. Got it, memorized it, living it. Hey, it's kind of true. Like, being humble, it's sort of like, I would say it's pathologized a bit like being positive all the time. It's not simple. It's not as simple as, oh, always be positive, always be humble. It's realistically being able to place yourself in a standard and then trying to climb that standard higher. Because, like, it's sort of like the same thing as understanding other people's perspectives. You know, to understand a person's perspective, you have to know what your own is and be able to separate yourself from it. It's the same with being humble. Hello, welcome to my very long ramble about shit. When Casper goes to see someone, is he all casual, like knocks on the door in the Reaper fit and says, "It's your time has come," or does he just do the deed, no warning? So, generally speaking, Enzo, Casper's not going to random individuals and being like, your time has come. Again, Casper isn't death. That's not what he is. He's the Grimm Reaper. The Grimm Reaper in this world isn't death. It is a different station. What Casper does is more deal with ghosts and spirits and things that are kind of pulling the various worlds he reaps into the miasma. His goal is less. Sometimes it involves going to a normal person, being like, you have to move on. Like if someone, let's say if someone was trying to crack immortality or something, and in doing so they were ripping massive holes in the fabric of the world and shit like that, he would be like, oh fuck, I got to you know, I'd have to reap that person. But generally speaking, he'll just show up in the Reaper fit for sure. It's like an armor, it's like a defense thing. He's got to be careful. And also, it's like a second skin to him. He doesn't think of it as something like Lynette doesn't think of Casper as like just this guy. This isn't just Casper. She is like, this is just as much my dad as this is. And Casper views it the same way. His face is as much this as it is this. It's just another layer of him. He doesn't really see them as separate things. It's not business mode or not. Sometimes he will be wearing the cloak, just doing casual things. It's just how it goes. Oh yeah, I see it as being secure in yourself. If you know the level of your own ability, you don't need to show it off to everyone. They figure it out, or they'll be wrong. You're gonna love it here. This dude won't shut up. It's fucking true. It's fucking true. Well, there's a lot of people here today. Yeah, I got hit by a raid of 69 people, Nip. Nice. God, you mentioned something about the great places, and now I'm trying my hardest to write a dumb version of my first verse of, oh, the places you'll go from Casper's POV, and it'll be like 10 minutes past the point of it was even tertiarily relevant. Well, I mean, I appreciate the effort, because it is kind of the case, Jam. Like, they're gonna go different places. They're gonna go to crazy things. Like the entire, like the heart of the Magi Empire sits in this great, massive world tree. Let me just start scribbling that. This great, massive world tree that you could essentially think of as like a nebula of individual worlds kind of thing, and it's sort of what kickstarted their ability to grow so much and stuff like that. So there's this massive, just absurdly like large tree out there that kind of held the Magi Empire's core worlds close and safe, and it allowed them to travel between each other easier and stuff like love cool takes on Yggdrasil. Yeah, that's what they're calling, that's what they call theirs. Theirs is Yggdrasil. There's lots of like vaguely north kind of stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of people here today, Hari, for sure. It's pretty cool. I'm glad they stuck around. Thanks for sticking around, guys. It's pretty swell, yeah. It's pretty neat. But, like, I mean, I think even the necropolis itself is pretty kind of cool. It's just this giant floating town, essentially, out in space, right? It's just this giant fucking marvel of engineering. It's got its own, like, tiny little world tree that gives it its own protection, because world trees sort of act as... They have, like, a sphere of influence around them that acts as, like, a little barrier to keep you safe. It's got its own little one of that, you know? There's all kinds of places they'll go and see. And I thinking about them and then thinking about how to make them really impactful and stuff like that. And make them stick in people's minds. I'm glad they stuck around, like you didn't lay those glue traps yourself. Well, you know, people can sneak out of them, you know? I've found that people are able to... They're easy... They're better at figuring out where the glue traps are than the mice are, you know? That's all. That's all. But... Let's get a little shade going. Let's get a little shade. Toss this Lynette in the pile. Whoop! I don't know about anyone else, but I like to label stuff with caps now. It's just nicer. Desmond, don't forget to follow the Gravekeeper for future silly streams. Tee. Like, follow, and subscribe. Ugh. You scared people away, Desmond. We lost a couple because of your nonsense. You did this. Oh, right, I forgot. Yeah. Well, thank you for the follow, AK-47 PNG. I appreciate it. Are you... Oh, I gotta look. Oh, you're not. I went to look at my actual stream layout to see if your icon was actually that of just an AK-47, because that would have been pretty fucking funny. Don't follow this fool, stalk him. Nip, you give bad suggestions. Why does everyone say my whole username like I'm in trouble? I try and say the whole username when they follow. I don't know what I feel like that's like a respectful thing to do. How does Casper discover Cornelius? That's a helpful little thing coming from, you know, the necropolis. So, okay. We got Grimm Reaper, right? We got Grimm Reaper. We got Mr. Reaper, man. Okay. I'm gonna draw Casper. The Dorito. We got Mr. Reaper, man. His kind of powers, other than like the magic knowledge he knows himself, comes from his scythe and his cloak, right? They are uniquely powerful items. Those were given to mortals, given to people by this race of the mortem. There's not really any perfect way to describe them, but they're a race of magical spirits. I guess all spirits are kind of magical, but a race of essentially purely magical spirits that are kind of like skeleton angels mixed with corvids that live in the spirit world. Let me pull up a couple pictures of them at least. And they basically built the institution of the Grimm Reaper. The Grimm Reaper is not a naturalistic thing. It's something that was constructed by thinking individuals. Because again, death is completely, it's completely, unnecessary. Like, death just happens, but it happens messily, because nothing is really perfect. And so these guys, after they've made a massive old mistake, way back in the past have taken it upon themselves to correct that as best they can, and that they needed help on the other side, because mortem can't actually travel into the mortal realm at all. They'll die instantly. They'll just like they'll just ash baby chat. They'll just go ah! And disappear and blow away in the wind. So they get these individuals that can walk in the spirit world and see them and stuff like that, like Corny, basically people with a soul like Corny. They get them, and they've turned one of them into the Reaper. They trained them, told them what was going on, gave them knowledge, gave them power, and through that, the Grimm Reaper came to be. And so the Mortem have kind of their own underground network, I would say, in the spirit world of them trying to aid as well. Part of that is them essentially finding people like Corny. They will go look. They go look. And then they find. And they find people like Corny. So that's how Casper finds him. Corny was basically found by Mortem. That their whole deal is like, I'm going to look for them. There. I hope that answered your question, Enzo. The look. Back from work, what I'd miss. Lots of rambles. We got a big old raid. Lots of people in here right now. Hope they're having a fun time. All right. I want to get a good Corny in here. I wasn't paying attention. Can you say all that again? No! Because you also didn't say, can you say all that again? You said, can you all that again? I don't want. Tomorrow's my last day at the vet before vacation. Why are you at the vet? They left him at the vet, chat. What the fuck? Didn't even take him to a doctor. What the hell? They took AK to get fixed, and they just took him to a vet. That's fucked up. I work there, chill. I don't know. I don't know. By the way, Grave Grime, where I need to look to see your socials? Below, right? It is just below, is it not? You can go below and look at the card, and it's got them all there. Went to the vet, and we'll go on vacation. The vet isn't where you go on vacation. Oh no. Drops assault rifle on Dennis. My dog's sick. Think about the gas prices that they took me to the gunsmith, please. I see. You know what? You know what? That's fair. That's fair. I could only imagine the cost. How much like gunsmiths are charging. They're probably not that easy to find at this point. Gravegram out here killing AK-47 PNG on stream. Didn't have to do this to them like that. I mean, I did. They're new. Of course I did. What do you mean? Oh, you didn't have to do that. Yeah, I did. They're new. They get the exact same amount of beatings as everyone else. It could be you next, Enzo. Watch your mouth. Enzo's been here long enough that it just slides like water off his back. It's impossible. AK's the sacrificial lamb. It's what they get. It's called fair game. Yeah, it's called fair game. Invest in a catapult. It's the most work to shoot something. I suppose it is. I mean, I feel like no, because here's the thing. If you invest, a catapult is the most investment to do something. Because my only thought is like you use a Roos Goldberg machine to do it. But at the end of the day, that just is that's just a catapult with extra steps. So you're kind of right, Exo. The usual hazing ritual. AK is the normal grave stream. Please refer to visually rotten tag. Yeah, there's a couple of tags, yo. Bad advice only. That's a pretty strong one, I think. That's a pretty common one. Alright, I want to move, I think. I'm going to move this. We're going to move these over here. My little explanation, we're going to pull over there. And then I want this Lynette, and I want... What is this even? This is nothing, so it dies. I want these, and we're going to pull them up here. I'm just trying to get stuff out of the way, chat, because I want to draw something a little nicer. Wouldn't that be nice? Something a little nicer? What the? Alright, let's stuff these two idiots down there. Now I've got this little space to work with. Something nicer. There we go. Am I in trouble for that? No. No. No one's in trouble here any more than anyone else is in trouble here. Was it intentional to have your canvas be the same color as the stone you're drawing on? No. I just chose this color as like, I think this might look good as a background for Grimm Deeds. It's a nice, cool neutral, you know? Like, it's not that visually unpleasant. So. On to hell with it. Dr. Seuss, I am not. I cannot write for Casper and Corny and the rest of the lot. I'll leave this idea before I waste my whole day. Do you have any grand plans, Grave Grime, or will you spend your afternoon just doodling away? Currently today, the deal is just to doodle away, I'm afraid, Jam. I didn't have time to set up a nicer drawing. I should have, but I'll hopefully have one for next time. I have some vague ideas, but I need to actually like work on composition and stuff. Doodle Corny Cob? I can't beat Tatoes, dude. I can't beat Tatoes, it's impossible. I think I'm gonna fall asleep. Am I that fucking boring, AK? Wait, hold on a minute. Wait a fucking second. You're like, oh, am I in trouble? And then immediately you start throwing shade? Are you kidding me? You went, oh no, are you me? I'm not in trouble, am I? Anyway, fuck you. No, you're not boring. I haven't slept in 3 days. I haven't slept in 3 days. I've just worked on it the vet. You can stay up for another hour. You'll be fine. To the ads with you. Go away. Is Cornelius someone who will pick apart a bad horror movie, or does he enjoy the ride, no questions asked? This is give. He would pick apart horror movies, but only horror movies. And it would essentially be like, that's not actually how that works, is how Corny would pick it apart. Like, he would pick them apart because he'd be like, well, that's not how that works, though. And he'd be like, people should know. However, this is only if he knows that. Oh, god fucking damn it. I forgot Enzo. Enzo's got a little thingy on them, but it's just for bits. And I keep confusing it with a star, chat. I keep confusing it with one of the subs. Fuck. What do I want to do? I always like Corny talking to ghosts. So we're gonna do Corny talking to ghosts. Alright, people should be coming back now. Hello, everyone. I hope you liked being cast to the fucking ad realm. I'm gonna kill Twitch with my own bare hands. Why are you gonna do that? Because it served you piping hot ads. How dare you send me there? I didn't send you anywhere. I actually don't really have that much control over that. I don't, those just come on a regular schedule. I do not have that much control over when you guys get ads. To the ad pit, well, yeah. I get to see when they're gonna happen, but all I can say is just, like, to the ad pits with you. I don't get to, like, you know. You have returned. I guess I was answering your question, but I will answer it again. So, basically, Corny would pick apart horror movies, but it would only be the horror, like, it would A, only be horror movies, and B, it would only be horror movies that he actually, like, knows what the creature is, if that makes sense. Like, if he's had to deal with a poltergeist before, he would pick apart, like, a poltergeist movie. But if not, he would actually, when he was younger, I mean, even now, he would actually watch horror movies to find advice for how to deal with sort of like the creatures that he's encountering. Like he just would take it and be like, well, maybe this will work, and then he would try it. So it's not entirely like he isn't like, I'm going to criticize the story or anything. He's going to criticize the method, because he's like, that's not how that works. That ain't right. Nuh-uh. But if he's never seen it before, he'd be like, does that work? And then he'd try it. The times you say off to ads with the frame perfect cutting. I think I've got it. Whoa, wait a minute. Chat! We're at 100 flat. That's like a first for us. And it's there a little more consistently. Holy. Leaves. Dane, no! Dane said leaves and it went down to 86 immediately. Fuck. He took all of his sock puppets away, chat. No! No! Thank you, Josh. I can't believe he's done this. Dane is alt-botting, no. And after you said that, minus 14. It's how it goes. It was 64 earlier. Yeah, we're jumping around. Well, I didn't know I had that power. Here I come, my enemies. You'll just start deleting them. Slowly but surely. More and more, you become closer and closer to Gunther. Oh, come on. There we go. Head's bothering me. There we go. Let's see. Vote kick Dane. I see. Anti-vote kick Dane. We gotta. I should have like a poll thing. Would you like to kick Dane or not? No, what would I do without my most powerful heckler? You can't take that away. Only I can do that. And it has to be for like a funny fucking joke. Let's see. It's a good corny head, but it's not what I'm looking for, I don't think. You're just seeing me scribble, chat. You're just seeing me scribble away. I apologize. I wish I was doing something more, loftier, I guess. Oh, maybe we'll just do some expressions or something, chat. We'll just kind of have some fun there. That'll be fun. We could talk about the characters a little bit, because a lot of you guys aren't going to know any of the characters. You guys don't know who Lynette is. You don't know who Corny is. You don't know who any of them are. Other than the vague, like, oh, you know, the kid can see ghosts, and Lynette is the you know, daughter of the Reaper. That's all you really got. Maybe, actually, let's kind of do like a little... little annoyed little thing going on. Where do you rank on the heckler leaderboard? You're more consistent, but it's less scathing. More consistent, less scathing. So like, probably not on the top 3, but you're somewhere. How did Lynette find the hobby of painting? How long has she been doing it, and what is her skill level? You guys, Grave Grime is saying you guys don't know Lynette, like Jim Davis saying you guys don't know Garfield. Dane, most of the people in here are new. They don't know who I even am. Grime, where are Statler and Waldorf on the leaderboard? I like watching scribbles. I'm actually learning stuff. So I guess to answer Enzo's question. Yeah, so Lynette is a bit of a painter. And she found it kind of probably relatively early on. She's probably been doing it very vaguely in some form since she was like 4 or 5. But it became more of a thing that she focused on. It's not the thing she focuses on most. That's mostly like her reading and her magic and stuff. But she kind of started doing it, like many of her skills and hobbies, as like things that came about from her relative isolation. Like she kind of self-isolated herself even more than her dad isolated her. And because of that, when there's no one around, right, you just start to do stuff. And so she started to take on the painting. And I would say she's pretty good. She doesn't really draw what we here would really draw. That's not been her thing. She's like... Her thing's like landscape. She likes drawing places. More than anything else. She's a background painter. I have that one piece of her, like, with something going on. And even though it's a little scribbly daily, I do like it still. Put that in there. You know, I would say she probably has a little bit more of an she likes to paint the feeling of what a place is, almost. I would say is how she would go about it. I remember drawing Lynette doing that too. Yeah, has she shown her art to anyone? Who would she show it to, you know? Who would she show it to? Like her dad? Her dad knows. Her dad sees. This is Grave Grime. He's my slime dealer. Ugh. Where we are on the leaderboard, why would we even be on that piece of junk? Oh! Is Corny short for Cornelius? No, they call him because his jokes are all so bad. Oh, I see. I remember drawing Lynette doing that. Yeah, has she shown anyone? She paints for herself. Lynette does a lot of things for herself. So, her dad would probably see these, but, she wouldn't show them to him, if that makes sense. Like, for Lynette, she would just paint it and then put it somewhere. She'd, like, put it away. She wouldn't necessarily be like, oh, I need to show this to people. because she did it for her. Lynette does things for herself. She doesn't really feel the need for other people to know that she's done them. That's sort of how she lives her entire life. She's very self-focused in that way. To her benefit and detriment, really. How many followers Lynette got on her art Twitter account? 0. She wouldn't have one. Lynette, if she lived in the modern day, in the modern world, she just wouldn't. She'd be one of the people who didn't have a social media account. At all. She just wouldn't have one. Because I know it's sort of our whole online life or whatever. Like, we're online, so we think everyone's got a fucking social media account. But, like, no, most people don't, really. And she's one of them. You wouldn't see the point of it. What about Facebook Marketplace? I don't think she would really thrift that, to be honest. If she was in the modern world, her dad would be rich, so they just buy stuff, probably outright. We technically draw for ourselves too. We technically draw for ourselves too at some times. Does that mean in our hearts there's a tiny, stingy Lynette? Yeah. If you want to think of it that way, for sure. You can think of yourself as having a tiny little Lynette in there. If that makes it easier for you. Yeah, I got a little Lynette in my heart. In my soul. She never even shared her art with her dad. Like, she doesn't mind if her dad sees it. But, like, she does... Here we go again. She doesn't, like, she thinks of herself as average. She doesn't... Because, Casper, first of all, way better painter than her. Okay? So we'll start there. Casper, significantly better painter than her. She doesn't think of her stuff as, like, anything worth sharing, really. It's just stuff she does. It's just crap she does and scribbles. It's like the thing with her. She doesn't see any reason why someone else would be that interested in it. And regardless, it's not for them. She doesn't care if they care about it. At least that's what she tells herself. I actually used to do the Lynette thing too. I draw and not show anyone, hide it away in my closet. Yeah, she just puts it away. Really, he's a painter? Casper's a man of nearly infinite talents. If you've been alive as long as him, you kind of pick him up. He has probably become a master painter and artist in general many times over because of how, you know, his mental decay works, where as he forgets skills, like as time progresses, he forgets things that aren't being immediately used in his brain. So he can literally just forget entirely how to paint and have to do the whole learning process all over again. So he's probably done it many times. It's like the thing with her, I understand, just like Ben Grimes assumes everyone thinks he's hideous, Lynette assumes everyone thinks she's mid. Wrong perspective. Wrong perspective. She thinks she just is mid. She doesn't really assume everyone thinks she's mid, she just thinks she is mid. Is he a good cook? Probably yeah. Probably yeah. He just doesn't cook very much. She is also a good cook. Because she's had to cook for herself, right? So she's learned that. She's taken it upon herself. Again, Lynette is a girl of many talents, for sure, and that's sort of a problem. Her being good at things isn't necessarily, like, great, if that makes sense. It's all born from the fact that she just has so much time to practice. She has so much time to practice and is quite, her complex makes her quite obsessive about improvement. So it's more of a symptom of a greater problem than just a natural boon of itself. Once she gets over that, these will be great boons to her, but for now, it's kind of an indication of a problem. It's sort of like with Lilium, how Lilium is like this very loving, caring person, but it's like it's not really a positive thing. It's a symptom of the negative things that have occurred to her. Like in her upbringing, you know what I mean? Like how she was raised and how she can't really do... The fact that she can't really do anything else is this massive problem. She doesn't know how to process things properly. But on its own, you just see that positive trait as just a positive trait. But there's a little more to it than that. It's the same with Lynette and her many skills. It's great that she has them. That's good. But it's the symptom of a deeper issue she has internally. And Mr. Corny, man of few talents, will hopefully help her show, like, you know, show her that. Really, she can cook? What does she make? Does she have a favorite dish? The issue with figuring out Lynette's favorite dish, right, is figuring out Lynette's favorite dish is coming up with some strange alien thing that I haven't put enough thought into yet, but she will have some kind of favorite dish, for sure. And what she makes is also in the similar thing. I have to come up with sort of world-building alien dishes, because she's not a human. One day blinding soup. That seems like a mac and cheese kid. I guess in terms of like a favorite food that she's eaten, her favorite food actually is a beef stew. But I think she'd like mac and cheese too, honestly. I could see that. I could see her liking a mac and cheese. Not chicken-shaped dino nuggets. Made out of dinosaur. Tasty. But yeah, like that's sort of there's little story reasons for the soup thing as well. But that she has them, I just haven't thought of them yet. Is there a normal dish that she enjoys? You know, from... Well, I just said, like, her favorite dish, is... You were talking about things she cooked, so I wasn't thinking about what she'd like to eat, but her favorite is, a beef stew. Oh, I see. I see. But yeah, she would like plenty of food from our world. It's not like, oh, our food is all gross or anything like that. It's just, she would have food that she would prefer from, like, other worlds. Because I can't even say it'd be food she prefers from her world, because Lynette is kind of like a worldless wanderer. Her world is the Necropolis, which is her and her father, so she doesn't necessarily have that massive a cultural footprint in that regard. Is Halloween a factor in my world or story? Not really. No. There's no way for me, with how big the world is, there's no way for me to, like, be able to tie the day of Halloween sensically to everything else. But I'll probably have Halloween episodes. Because I love Halloween episodes. So I'll probably have a Halloween episode, but how much it actually has a massive impact on things. Not for Grimm Deeds anyway. Not for Grimm Deeds anyway. However, funnily enough, holidays play a massive factor in the Fairy Woods, though. I can make him more worried. I could make Corny more like, oh fuck. There we go. what are your top 5 Halloween specials? Honestly, can't You asked me that question, Izzy, and my brain has forgotten every single Halloween special that's ever existed. You ask and you shall not receive. It all flew out of my brain instantly. I went, duh? Buga? What? I always include the Betty Boop Sleeping Beauty short in my Halloween playlist. It never makes sense right up until it does. I see. I don't think I've even seen that one. Maybe I should. That hand's too big, chat. Shut that shit down. There we go. Corny is the type of kid who wrinkles when he brain freezes. What is that? What do you mean wrinkles? What? Corny and Lynette's jacked up Halloween is true. I meant Snow White. Ah. Oh, at least Kitty followed me on Twitch. Hi, welcome. At least you've crossed sides, I see. You've wandered into the enemy camp. Because I haven't been able to answer you on Twitch, on YouTube, I imagine. Which I apologize for. The chat is busted over there. I apologize. Chat's busted over there right now. I'll have to fix that for the next stream. Like a raisin, that kind of wrinkle. True. Corny's the type of kid to say, nice kitty, when he falls into a tiger pit. Corny's the type of kid to scream help me when he falls into a tiger pit. He knows what tigers are. And he knows they're hungry. Unless they're not. You know. He is good with animals. That is one of Corny's things. He's got a bit of a Disney princess going on. But Grime, you get one less viewer on YouTube now. I know, but it's okay. Bloody murder screaming? It depends on how hungry the tiger is. After Lynette walks in on Corny doing muscle poses with his shirt off, looking in the mirror, Corny quickly puts on jacket. You didn't see anything, did you? I saw everything. What is that even in reference to, Dane? Oh. I see. You know what, Dane? I was like, what is that in reference to? And I was just like, you're building a tale for me. She does look very judgmental. She does. She's like, I don't know. Grave Grime, I have a question for you. Okay, lay it on me, Enzo. Oh, up there. Would Lynette try normal food or would she be hesitant? Depends on the food, really. Cause like, smells still smell good to her, right? But some stuff would be a little more. I feel like she'd be off-put by some processed meats. A little bit. But it's probably mostly just down to the fact that she likely doesn't eat a lot of processed meats. It's not anything really even against it. She'd just be like, Like bologna? Like bologna. I think she'd just be like, This is strange. Why is it so congealed? But I think that would probably go just kind of across the board for most kinds of congealed treats. You see some stupid idiot kids? You sure do. Hello, Mushroom. Strikes me as someone who would prefer salads. I can see it. She would like She likes meaty flavors is the thing, chat. She does like meaty flavors. She drinks so much bones that, and like that gives everything like an umami flavor anyway. She likes the taste of meat. It's just a factor of, there's a bit about it being so uniform. I think she would be a little less peachy keen about. Speaking of peaches, thank you, Peachy Peaches, for the follow. I appreciate that. So, you know, there's kind of like a factor there. She'd like her veggies. She's definitely, because she likes sour things. She likes sort of meaty flavors, hearty foods. She's not that picky. She's just not the biggest fan of like sweet things. But it's not even like she's against sweet things. You can get Lynette to eat a cake. It's just not the thing she's going to be reaching for, you know? Hey Greg, what food can I absolutely not stand? I haven't, gotta be honest, I haven't encountered it yet. I used to dislike food a lot as a kid. Like, I used to hate blueberries as a kid, but I like blueberries now. I used to dislike mushrooms. I like mushrooms now. I'm that kind of guy who sort of eat whatever, so. Lynette reaches for the big meat, slaps her hand away, and gives her cake instead. Damn, dude. What did Lynette do to you, man? What the hell did Lynette do to you? Why are you forcing her to eat cake? What if she doesn't want to, dude? What the fuck? But what about mushy peas? I have never eaten mushy peas. They just seem very unappealing visually to me. That's the issue with mushy peas. They just look awful. They don't look good, chat. They don't look good at all. Scrunching up his face, chat. It's really... Really gotta get him squished. Oh, oh jeez. Oh shit. All of that. Even more, honestly. Just kind of... There we go. Oh my goodness. Well, thank you, Mushroom, for giving Josh his freedom. But you should have never done that to him. Mushy peas look like baby food, lol. I do love some split pea soup. Okay, alright, you know what, Peaches? That's exactly what I mean! That's exactly what I mean! If Peaches can even hear me, that's exactly what I mean. My thing is, if you have peas, either have them solid or have them as a complete soup. Don't stop halfway. Don't just stop halfway. Like, why would you do that? It's fucking lazy. That's what it is, chat. You don't stop halfway. Okay, back. Chat, did you know about The LARP YouTubers? What are the LARP YouTubers? Elaborate, Josh. Do I even want to know? He's got to thank people for his wondrous gift first, but I'm curious about what these LARP YouTubers are. Oh, wait! LARP YouTubers are people who make channels based off other YouTubers. Oh! Okay. I see. I know of them, but I know very little about them. And my thought process of it is like... I have like messy thoughts in terms of it, because I'm sort of like... I think technically, it's okay, but I don't like it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if it could be like, this is a massive moral failing of you doing this, but I don't like it. But I'm also kind of like, I don't know though, because I don't really like celebrity impersonators either. So, it's one of those things I need to think about more, chat, to have like an actual opinion. This is me just kind of talking about it off the top of my head. But I don't really like it. It feels fucking icky to me. Anyways, how do you feel about LARP grime? I'd be like, why are you even doing that? Because I assume the whole point of it is to essentially gain a following off of nostalgia of another person. So I don't really know why you would ever LARP me. Cornelius ain't feeling the LARP YouTubers. He's not. He's not at all. He's scrunching his nose up at it. But yeah, my thought process is I don't know, man. It's just weird shit. It as a person who likes to make, you know, original things and be myself and shit, it's kind of antithetical to my own values. However, that doesn't necessarily mean it's wrong for people to do it. So I'm kind of like, I don't know. But I also don't really like celebrity impersonators as well. So there's kind of this level of not my thing whatsoever. Think it's icky, I guess. It gives me an icky feeling. There you go. There's my off the cuff LARP tuber sort of thoughts. Don't think it's healthy. Oh yes, and then mouse YouTuber. You think of rebranding? Think of maybe I could hitch my wagon to someone better. My first time hearing about the concept. I also find it lazy. Stuff like that will only end poorly. I agree with you, Frank. I don't think it will end positively. They for real remake videos shot for shot. Technoblade pretty famously had someone LARP as him. He got a lot of shit. No, I know. Yeah, I know. I know about the Technoblade thing. I just didn't know what you meant when you said LARP YouTubers. I forgot that it was more than just that one incident. Wait, heard this? Someone got into controversy for LARPing Technoblade. Yeah. It was a whole thing, and it's just don't get it, guys. I don't even get the if you're like remaking videos, right? I don't really know. Like, I don't understand why you would watch it as a viewer. You know what I mean? Because couldn't you just watch the original if they're just doing it shot for shot? Like, what about this, like, remake LARP makes it better than the original? Is it just like, oh, it's new, therefore it's good? Like, I don't know what the thought process there is at all. I don't get it. It feels very like final nail in the coffin of sort of the nostalgia culture miasma we've found ourselves in for the last like decade and a half at this point. Like, oh, now we're so starved for that feeling of nostalgia that we've stopped just recreating old media in new forms, and now we're just going to remake the old again, shot for shot, for some reason. I don't get it. I don't fucking get it at all. Yeah, maybe don't LARP with the dead guy. Now, a lot of it is doing content that people don't do anymore. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by it's doing content that's not being done anymore? You mean like the live action Lion King? The live action Lion King isn't a remake shot for shot. It's a powerful drug, true. Yes, we do have new emotes. I said that at the beginning. My fave thing is there are YouTubers who know he has a LARPer but finds it funny because he's not white and can't use his actual dialogue, if you know what I mean. I see. Like, Markiplier doesn't make the same type of content he made back in 2011. True. But, like, at that point then, Josh, it just is like, at that point, it's just, oh, I'm trying, yeah, it is what you said, essentially, is you're trying to hit, it's like trying to hitch your wagon to someone better to propel yourself up a little bit. As opposed to just making videos that Mark made. I'm gonna make stuff to emulate him. But if you were like, but it's not emulating him, you're copying him. Like, if you wanted to just take the format, it's not like Markiplier was doing anything fantastically unique back in 2011. He wasn't doing anything like, oh, this crazy mind-breaking thing. He was just making videos that he sort of enjoyed, and that's what you should be doing too. Like, it's sort of like, chat, I talk about this all the time, about how the audience you build is going to, it's directly related to the kind of content you produce. So if you're gonna make shit that's like, if you're gonna make shit that is emulating someone else, then you're never gonna actually have an audience that's there for you. They're gonna be there for the emulation. That's a losing battle. That's short-term gains. That's gonna fuck you over in the end, because when you try and make something yourself, it's like the issue that people who do fan art all the time can have. If they stop being happy drawing fan art of that thing and then they switch, their engagement will fucking plummet into a crater a lot of the time. Just down to the fact that that's not why people are there. And it's not like, oh, their art got worse. That's not what it is. It's just people are, you've built an audience for a different thing than what you want to do now, and you'll have to sort of build your audience back from ground zero, essentially. Not entirely ground zero, but still. But Gravegrum, what if you're creatively bankrupt? I mean, don't make things, I guess. If you're creatively bankrupt, I guess just don't make things. Yeah, they can go eat mushy peas. I agree. They want new stuff based on the old. Yeah. But that's what I mean. Just make the old stuff again. You'll have to build the audience for it. That's just how it goes. At some point, the old content will run out. Josh is dying on this hill. I should clarify, I'm not going to bat for these people. I don't care either way. No, yeah. I get what you're talking about, Josh. You're just bringing it up. You're just talking about it. I've never even seen a Markiplier video. I've seen it happen many times. Channels all about one game, and then they switch and lose their views. Yeah. I should go make Mac. Nah, I don't need to. Well, it's kind of like, you know, if I do a gaming stream here, chat, a whole whack of people don't show up because they're not here for the gaming stuff. If I do gaming stuff, it's got, like, generally it's going to be just because I want to do it. And maybe I could build a bit of a audience for it eventually, but it's like, it's just how it works. If it exists and works, someone will do it. Doesn't matter how limited a lifespan it has, it works now. Yeah, I get it. I know why they're doing it, but I think it's bad. I think that's a bad thing to do. That's how you, like, justify everything. I know, play Draw to Life. Don't make Mac Groist, we'll find a way to burn it. No, that's just you. That's just you, Mushroom. You can't put that on me. You can't put that on me! Gaming with viewers would make it more smooth transition from art to game-wise and vice versa. Lol, I only brought this up because the idea of me committing identity theft on Grave was funny. Well, it's an interesting conversation, Josh, at the very least. It's a fun conversation. Also, I just don't know why you'd fucking... I don't know why you'd, like, go, like, go downwards like that. Well, like, I guess Josh is in the interest of downsizing, chat. I don't get it. Man with a vastly larger audience. Yeah, but I want Corny. I want him for my own. I see. Josh is sick of Shelly. Thinks she's fucking smelly. Shelly? More like smelly. Am I right, chat? All he can do is draw her as a cat. That's all he can do now. It's sad. Make a Gravekeeper costume IRL and pretend to be Gravegrime in real life. Are you always so... Why are you always so dang tired, Enzo? Just sleep? I mean, it'd be great help to be able to do all the heckling in one place instead of two. I also don't get the idea of remaking something someone else already did. Where's the fun in that? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Hello, my ascendants. I am Gravy Groim, and today we have a Grimy Deeds stream. This is my original story. Blip Bleeds. Just gotta find a big hat. And now where everyone's fighting with Enzo about his sleeping habits, which is good. He deserves it. Let's get another Lynette in here. Easy content gets you a endorphin hit or dopamine or serotonin. I can't remember which is which. Maybe all three. They all dump at once. When do we get Corny in a wizard hat? I've drawn, hold on, I've drawn Corny in a wizard hat. It's already exists at Chile. Hold on, I can go find that. I think that's here. Doodly-doo. Hold on, Morb. Where would it have been stuffed? Is it in just my sketches? I gotta go through like the several different folders of stuff I have. It's never all in one place. I really need to get it all in one place. Golly, was he rated? I was in fact rated, but hey, I was rated ages ago. I was rated about an hour ago and a bunch of them stayed, quack. Which is pretty cool. Don't worry, I just learned it was personal to me. Your Mac is safe, mine isn't. Well, this is what you get for being a hater, alright? This is what you get. Ah, there are the hats. There we go. There you go. See? There he is. He's got a wizard hat. I found it. He glue trapped the raiders. Shh. Sorry. Shh. Don't say that. There. Hat classic Corny. Yeah, so let me close that down. Let me close this down. I love the small Casper. Bia. Yeah. She likes bows. I want Lynette hat. I'm going to steal it. That's not for you. That's hers. Casper's hat's great. Oh, don't think I saw the Lynette before. All the strings hanging from her hat. Yeah, I don't draw them as much anymore, but yeah. little strings and stuff. They're fun to do. I'm used to seeing Corny and detective outward rather than wizard stuff. He is technically a wizard, or will become a wizard, I guess. It's really fun. So, like, the whole idea behind these, right, is wizard hats, chat, are a cultural thing for the Magi Empire. When you think stereotypical witches and wizards, what you should be thinking of the Magi. So the place where Warner and Bia and Bianca come from. That place is where the wizard things happen. They take after the greatest wizard to ever be, Mergandor. And they base a lot of their culture around sort of what his outfit was. And a lot of other places do too, but it's most of the Magi. And the idea being is just, they have all these different kinds of wizard hats, like all these different styles in the Magi Empire. And I was like, oh, well, let's draw a couple and give them to characters, you know, based on sort of their personalities. Like, this is essentially a wizard baseball cap is what Shade's wearing. Casper's been a girl the whole time. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Mushroom? Love Bia's red hat. How very Shade. Yeah. His little plume is up in it. All stuffed in there. I think that's funny. The greatest to ever be Regandor. I won't take this Merlin slander. It's Mergandor. 31 Cornies with wizard hats. All different kinds. Is her father in the left corner? Are you talking about Bia's dad, Desmond? This is Warner, yeah. That's Warner. That is Bia's pop. Yeah. I didn't know. But didn't you know? I'm confused about what you're talking about. Casper's a boy. What? I don't know what you're talking about. Mergandor sounds like a cheap knockoff of the goat. How fucking dare you? How dare you? Definitely not what was expected for Bia. Saw her in the rough and tumble tomboy type. Didn't think she would wear something so frilly. So, like, she is the rough and tumble type for sure. But, you know, everyone has little tiny things that would surprise you. She's not, like, against them so much. Want to cosplay Lynette so bad. Like, she's not against them. I think she'd think it was pretty. But a lot of the time, she's definitely in that rough and tumble camp for sure. He's just a boy. It's true. Did I? Well, I messed my words up then. It happens. It happens upon occasion. But here, let me grab actually, because I'm sure many people haven't seen Bia's family at this point. So let me grab them in the big spread I got. There we go. There we go. This is Bia's family. Minus their spirits, I guess. He's just a boy. He is. He's youthful for his age. Should I do that beef, guys? I don't know what you're talking about. I think you may be too tall for a one-to-one cosplay of Lynette, but you can still do it. It's true. She is very short. Yeah. This is her family. They're kind of like, Bia and her dad and mom are kind of like a celebrity family. Did you ever post this anywhere? I don't recall seeing it. Yeah, this was one of my dailies. This was daily 51 from this year. He's a big, silly fella. And they've got a little bit of the crazy in them. They're a bit of a celebrity family. They're quite good. The dailies feel so long ago now. They do. This was a daily? Yeah. You know what else was a daily, Jam? This one's probably, I would say, the craziest daily. Is this one right here. Not Grimm Deeds related, but yeah, I did this one. This was probably the craziest daily. Where I did, like, what is that? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 full bodies in a day or whatever. On a whim. when I was fully expecting a your mom. That would have been good. Fuck, that would have been funny. Shit. I'm actually not that tall. I'm 5'3", so it's not so bad. I met 10-year-olds taller than me. Sure, but Lynette's short. Lynette's like 4 foot. She's itty bitty. And the best, for a reason I can't put my finger on. Don't know what that's in regards to, Dane. I'm sorry. Yeah, from blue to red. Yes, with the cool colored characters. Yeah, that's in a month. Yeah. Right in there. Yeah. Oh, the best daily? I see. I see. Yeah, Evan's in there. This is just a bunch of characters from my pals, my buds, my friends. And I did it because I did this one on a whim prior. Where I just did a bunch of them as well. So. I have my fun. I have my fun. Have a good time, chat. Yeah. You think Niplets calls his fans his little nipples? Niplets doesn't refer to his fans at all. Niplets is like, I don't even think of... Nip's like, I don't even think about him, to be honest. I can wear stilts. The reverse stilts. They make you shorter. I see. No matter how fast you can draw, there's always someone who can draw faster. And he's right here. Grave Grime. That's him. I don't know, dude. I've been humbled, man. With Art Fight, fucking Mystic Tunes was a monster. They did like 350 plus attacks in a month. It was ridiculous. I'm gonna tell him you said that. Go right ahead. Please do. He would like it. He would probably think it was funny. Your days are numbered. Well, the alternative is big nipples, and I think Izzy's choice is the most accurate. Growly and his gripples. Why do we have to bring these things up? Why do we have to bring these things up, Desmond? They are awesome. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Why, chat, why are you woeing? Why are you going, whoa? They're impressed by your gripples, I guess. That's fair. I guess that's fair, you know? Let's get a couple. I might after this one, I might give him some color check. I might do a little color. Hey Grave, what part of the Gravekeeper is the hat for no reason at all? It's kind of whatever you think is funniest, honestly, is the answer there. But my brain is like, the horns are also the hat if you want, or it can just be a stupid little dunce cap on the top of my head. Really, whatever you think is funniest, honestly. I just want to know how the Gravekeeper keeps that hat so straight. Is there an object inside of it? I've got just one really long, straight hair that's very hard. I've got a protrusion. You know, like what... It's like when you get, like, a cartoon character gets bonked in the head and they get that one big bump. It's that, basically. That's what's holding my hat up so straight. The giant purple hat that also somehow acts as a robe. Oh, the woes at the 3. I see. That's now canon for me. That's fine. Whatever you think is silliest. The meerkat under there that controls him never sits down. I'm being fucking ratatouille'd. I'm being ratatouille'd by a meerkat, of all things. It's not even like a Halloween creature. It's just it's a fucking meerkat. Can't let him know. I can't let him onto us. Can't let him onto us, dude. Shut up. It can be a lich meerkat if you want. Okay, you know what? You've been peeking at my hat as I slept, haven't you been, Izzy? That's fucked up, dude. You're not supposed. That's cheating. That's fucking cheating, dude. You can't do that. I don't like how you have all this information on me. I don't appreciate that whatsoever. It can't be a bat. That would give you too much power. Groist the Griffles, yucky you, I say. What the fuck, Mushroom? What did I do to you? I haven't done shit to you. So if we steal the meerkat, did the Gravekeeper just collapse? But if you took away Remy from Linguini, does Linguini just collapse? What do you mean? No, I'm still here. My words are my own. My hands are just controlled by the great artist meerkat that lives beneath my hat. I just stopped being able to draw. This is simple. Come on, man. His ego deflates. Yes, but only emotionally. Grime, I want you to know I was about to make a latte with Groist Grilk joke, but refrained. Thank you. Thank you, I appreciate that. So the Gravekeeper can't art without the cat then? Interesting. Why is it a cat now? It's a meerkat. It's like a little rat guy. What the fuck are we talking about now? Well, you should have paid attention, Horror. We can't help you. I'm sorry. There's no helping you because we can't help ourselves. Looking for reference. I really need to figure out a better way to set up my reference chat, honestly. Jesus. I need like a better way. I think you know what, chat? I'm curious. All right. I have a question for you all. Would you... This is kind of about this... Oh, wait. You know what? There's going to be ads in, like, 30 seconds or something, so I'll ask afterwards, but... So, for right now, we're just going to continue shooting the shit like a couple of dickheads. But... Just a mere cat, rather... That is also a rat. Fascinating discoveries we make. Is Lynette nocturnal? No. Not really. Though also there isn't really a day or night on the Necropolis. There just is like a constant. So Clip Studio Paint has a sub view, a panel you can just put references that stay open. No, that's not even what I'm talking about, Dane. Because I have a thing over on the side that I can just look at. I mean, I need to organize my references so I can like grab them easier. That's more of what I'm talking about, less about the sub view thing. Yeah. You have hair? I have many things. Where do you keep it? It look, the hair is beneath all the fuzz, all the fuzz, you know, so. Like a disserting. There we go. In a suitcase under my bed. Oh no! That's that's where he collects all of his hair. Imagine the Gravekeeper has a low taper fade. Terrible. Is the low taper fade funnier or is the bald funnier? All right, everyone's back. Everyone's returned, I think. I think. Anyway, I'm curious, chat. I have an idea. I kind of want to, go on my outfit designing shit again. So I was curious if you guys would like a stream of that. Yeah. Yes, of course. All right, it's time for me to go. I got some. All right, see ya, Dane. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for hanging out. I'm a whore for fashion. All right, maybe that's something we'll do next week then. That'll be fun. I'd like to give the Grimm Deeds kids more outfits because I simply haven't. Should it be a Grimm Deeds like specific thing, or would you guys like to see sort of other characters integrated into it? Do both. Dane, sorry, Quack, I forgot. What was the other? Oh, Fairywood's and Grimm Deeds. Okay, there we go. I was like, did I say a different one? I love fun alternative outfits. You think of anything specific? Beach fits, PJs, fancy suits and dresses, maybe ugly Christmas sweaters. Kind of just whatever. If you guys wanted to suggest things. Thanks for the follow, Deadpool's feet pics. Chat, am I? Well, they're right there. Deadpool's feet pics decided to hang out. Should I want you here? I guess the feet pics themselves haven't done anything wrong. Show them, Josh. Apparently, his doingus is here. I see. Yeah, my brain just assumed you had context to the other one because of past streams. Why? I don't know. I blame autism. I see. Well, because it could have been also, like, in the dominion of hate and stuff, right? Better question, do you want them? Not really. I feel like Deadpool's feet would be awful. Terrible, crusty things. Walter, put your dungus away, your doingus away, Walter. Come on, Walter. You son of a bitch. Put that doingus back in your pants. We don't need to see that no more. Alright, see ya, Mushroom. Yucky you! Wait, I said goodbye! Fuck you! Fall down the stairs again! No, you know what? Don't fall down the stairs. It's not that big an infraction. Burn your mac and cheese again. That probably hurts more. Feet are already disgusting as is. But yeah, but imagine one that's like super cancer feet. I think that'd be way worse. I think super cancer feet would be infinitely worse than just normal gross feet. I don't know, dude. Put that doingus back or something. Yup, that's right, you're Mac. Fuck you. Get out of here now. Go on. Be gone from this place, from this hallowed ground. Falling down the stairs and maybe breaking your neck, not good enough. Burn your mac and cheese. Now that's a good punishment. I know. I'm perfect at this kind of torture stuff. Jam gets it. Look, you can break my body and my spirit and my soul, but you cannot break my food. I need that. It makes my heart go a-flutter. Come on. You're fine. There we go. There. Okay. But I just got it out. Oh, fine. I'll go back to complaining about it the whole time. And then, what the fuck is that face? My avatar? Ugh. That's a nasty one. That's a nasty fucking one. To be fair though, breaking your neck and dying just kind of done and over with deal with mac and cheese. Well, mac and cheese lasts. So even logically it makes sense. Not even really, Quack, to be honest. Because, like, there's a level to that, sure, of like, oh, hey, I'll just be dead and gone and then it will be over. But then like, people don't really ever factor in the fact that you're dead and gone now. There is no chance that you'll never be able to get mac and cheese ever again because you're dead and fucking gone, you know? Like, you've had that opportunity ripped from you. So, there is a level there to that you have to kind of consider. Yeah, but you won't be worrying about that anymore. You get all the mac and cheese you want. Well, no, you don't. You don't get any. You're dead. See, that's how I know you're a fake fan. Something Gordon Freeman. You have to blow up the microwave casserole. Gonna head out as well. Got some stuff to do. All right, see ya. Goodbye, Frosty. So long. The regulars are dropping like fries. They can't handle it, chat. They can't handle. Even a short stream. Even a little itty bitty one. There we go. All right, let's do a quick. Let's get some color on the board. Na na na. That's the one thing. The one thing that always like ekes me out about doing just kind of doodle streams like this. I'm always like, oh, what? I need color there. I need something nice for people to look. I need my keys. I need my keys. I need to jangle for people. Jingle, jingle. They'll leave if I don't jingle my keys. It's instant engagement. Just add pigment. That's all I need. Also, I just find it much more pleasant to look at stuff that has color on it. I don't know. A real fucking brave take from Grave Grime, I'm sure. Add pig? If heaven doesn't come with infinite mac and cheese, what even the point then? There's an assumption there that heaven exists, is the thing. The great unknown, you know? Because if it doesn't, then there simply isn't any mac and cheese, and you are just ceased to be. Sure, you won't be worrying about it anymore, but, like, to actually conceptualize the end of being is a difficult thing. I doubt there's much peace in it, really. How do you know it's either heaven or bust? Maybe it's Valhalla. Well, no, that's what I mean. It's always a gamble, right? Like it's any, right? Any kind of afterlife at all is a gamble, and like also not being one is also a gamble. To be clear, because we don't know. So it's just kind of like, with that in mind, it's probably safer to like. The logic of it is it's probably safer to assume, that like. To operate under the assumption that one might not possibly exist, so you try and operate in a way that sort of makes it so you're the best person you can be in the space that you currently occupy. That's how I always have viewed it anyway. To get a little philosophical on you guys, I guess. Eh. Dude, your mac and cheese obsession is getting worrying. You're frightening everyone. People are beginning to talk. It's becoming the dominant topic of discussion among most circles. Everyone's distressed, but no one seems to know how to solve the issue. It's beginning to destroy your relationships. People are getting fed up and worried and don't know what to do. There you go. Josh has got some words of wisdom for Quack. Or I guess not words of concern. There's not even any wisdom in it. He didn't give any advice in that entire thing. He just said, we're worried about you. We don't know what to do. You're kind of fucked in the head. Kind of just insulted you, honestly. I know this is a joke, as I never talk about mac and cheese, but I always worry one person will take it seriously and it'll become something. Fucking, how do you think I feel, Quack? All the bullshit I say in these streams, how do you think I feel? Fucking hell. Someone takes one of my horrible things I say seriously? Oh boy. The Google Docky, you know? Oh no. I'd do anything to hang out with Gangle and Zooble and Ragatha and Kinger and Jax and my GF Ponley and Kane and Bubble. What? Alright. I'm happy for you, Josh. I'm glad. Good for you, man. You've got goals. You've got dreams. As I side-eye. I side-eye the chat. I go, do you fucking hear this guy? You hear this fucking guy? And his name in the circus would be Mao. The eternal curse put upon him. And I dub you Mao. He's not even a cat. You know? He's not even a cat, chat. Alright. Because Dex... Alright, okay. Josh, just because someone talked about it going there when they died, doesn't then mean, oh, it makes total sense that I'd say all this shit. I love that she has a couple of tiny devil horns made out of her hair, 100% approved. Her bedhead, she's got a little evil demon. She's a little evil demon. But she's our evil little demon, chat. And isn't that what matters? There we go. Pull it up. Like that. Color. And then let's go white. I forgot I had drawn this one, chat. I came back over here to finish up this Lynette, and I forgot this is what her face was. And it made me chuckle. It made me go hee hee. It is so fucking dumb. Look at that shit. Look at that shit, chat. No, she's mean. Ground her. She is mean. So cute to see sleepy Lynette. I'm just kind of having my fun here, chat. I'm just kind of scribbling around, doing what I do. I can't believe there's still fucking 57 of you in here in what I would honestly kind of consider a kind of slower, little bit lackluster stream from me. This has not been as high energy as it normally goes, newbies. Normally we're a little kind of more put together. I didn't fucking have time today. Would Casper ground Lynette? Probably not. I kind of feel like Casper would view grounding as something that doesn't really help. Would be his perspective. Like Casper's punishment would be like a stern talking to. Unless she did something really egregious that needed, like, higher punishment for it. And then it would probably be less of grounding and more of taking away of privileges. You know, like, you can't have this, you can't have that. That's probably how he would operate. And then also, like, kind of have a different sort of deal there. Yeah, I'm getting tired. Alyssa, are you now deciding to be nasty to me too? Is that, have you been here long enough? There's like, you know what? I'm gonna join the dog pile. Is that where we're at? No, 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 I'm not. So has that happened before? Probably not actually. He probably hasn't like taken away or like, in what scenario would it be like, oh, I'm going to take away your things? I mean, I guess he'll do it, at the very beginning, well, no. Depending on if I change some things with how Grimm Deeds starts, there might be a scenario in which he will actually punish Lynette for actions she takes. But, like, generally speaking, Lynette's a very well-behaved child when it comes to Casper's wishes. Half her thing is just wanting to, like, do right by him, so she's not she doesn't have that much interest in disobeying her father, so it doesn't happen too often. And that's also something that Casper sort of recognizes and knows is happening, so for the most part, his sort of parenting falls down more to the talking to. Like, actually trying to discuss and communicate with his child because he respects her, you know? It's less of, oh, I'm trying to, like, force you into doing what I want you to do. I'm trying to teach you. He's a wise fella, that Casper. Would Lynette take the stern talking too seriously? Absolutely. Dude, it would fuck her up. Absolutely. If she got like a stern talking to, yes, she would take that incredibly seriously. Her whole sort of worldview, I guess, revolves around kind of Casper's opinion and stuff. Like, she very much values what her dad says. She is not a rebellious child. I know lots of characters that kind of fit into her archetype are a bit more rebellious. She is not. Corny's probably more rebellious than fucking Lynette is. I would like to see her get a stern talking to. Why is that, Enzo? Who also has a long time to mull over how to handle things. Yeah, well, that's the thing. The thing with Casper is he's very wise and he knows how people work. However, he's kind of relearning how to be a parent again because it's been so long since the last time he was a parent that genuinely he has forgotten how to be one again because of how his mind works. Casper is kind of an eldritch being in a lot of ways because he lives so long. Because he's so long lived, his biology isn't really built for that. So as his like brain fills up with information, he doesn't die or anything. What happens is the brain will huck out like unused bits of code, so to speak. Sort of memory that is no longer in use is rewritten and refactored. So he genuinely just forgets things when it's not information that he's using. So one of that was being a parent, you know? Just to see his reaction. How did it end up becoming a parent again? Did he be... Well, I mean, obviously he met someone, but generally it takes two to make a child, I suppose, but just one of those things, you know? And that's all I'll say on it. Just one of those things. But I guess for now, again, I'm still kind of feeling out what I want to talk about. Grave is tight-lipped about Lynette's mother, so I will assume she's either unimportant or extremely important. Thing is, it's probably important or She is important, but probably not in ways that actually matter all that much in kind of keeping it a secret, I guess. Memory does deteriorate every time you remember something. I know that, Enzo, but it's literally he forgets. Like, he doesn't know. The only reason he knows he has certain other families is because there are portraits of him with them. So he assumes that means that they were a family, but he actually doesn't know. There isn't even like an emotional hole there. It's like looking at a picture of a stranger. Any kind of connection is gone from his mind because it's actually deleted. It's not a vague remnant. It is simply gone. Yeah, and because of that, he like loses information. So when he's become a parent this time, it's been so long since the last time, he genuinely like straight up has he doesn't know how to do it anymore. He's learning everything for the first time again. Poor Lynette. Why poor Lynette? That's quite tragic. Does Lynette know? Lynette does know. Casper would not feel any reason to hide that fact from his daughter. Yeah. She would be aware that he has had other families. She has probably seen the portrait. But like, what do they matter to her? They were infinite amounts of time. Again, Casper was essentially has lived endless amounts of lives compared to us. He's so old. But yeah, it is a tragic thing, but Casper still finds value in it, because in Casper's fucking opinion, right? Casper's opinion of this vast loss of knowledge is like, yeah, it's sad that he will forget eventually, but because he knows he will forget, and that's how it works, there's no like fighting against that concept. He just goes like, well, sure, but it's kind of like us now, you know? Everyone you know, chat, is going to die. All of them are going to pass away and be gone. You will, like, everything will be forgotten. So, like, why does it matter that it doesn't last forever? You know what I mean? That's Casper's whole outlook. Casper's like, things exist, and that's cool on its own. It doesn't have to be forever. I'm very happy to have gotten any amount of time and memory with a person. I got to experience that, and that's special and unique. That's how Casper views life and living things. And it's partially affected by his own memory. Like, it doesn't matter that I had this family and they're literally stricken from my memory banks. Like, I still had them. I assume it was a good time, and I'm glad I was at least able to. That's how he views it all. How old? I don't actually have a perfect number for it. I judge Casper has lived an entire eon, which is easily over millions of years. He is ancient. Potentially billions. But all thanks to his cloak and scythe, they extend his life. I don't know, knowing that your dad might not remember you at one point. Well, yeah, she's sad about that, but she's kind of like, she is sad about it, but also kind of accepts it, but also doesn't. She's got complicated feelings on stuff like that. She's got complicated feelings on lots of things. Casper took a selfie with a T-Rex. He would, though. Exo, he fucking would. But, like, so the thing is, like, Lynette has very complicated feelings on it. Also a big part of it because she's so young. But a lot of her own philosophy is built by Casper, right? She is built by her dad, because that's the person she's had to learn from, and that's the person she looks up to and stuff like that. Her feelings on these things are just like, that is the way it is, and it bothers me, but it shouldn't, so I'm not gonna let it. That's sort of how Lynette deals with that kind of situation, is it bothers me, no it doesn't, you know? So, because like she can logically work through the process. She understands that's the case, and that, you know, Casper says it doesn't actually change anything, and she believes him because there's no reason for him to lie to her, and she's just like still about it. But she does her her best. You know, as good of a... She does as well as a 12-year-old girl with emotional problems can, I guess. Do some of her philosophies get challenged by Cornelius and the other people she meets? Absolutely. That's a huge thing with Grimm Deeds, is actually Corny and Lynette fight all the fucking time because they have very different ideas, and I don't necessarily think either of them is really wrong in their approach. Like, Lynette is I wrote a whole bunch of words about it the other day, but like, Lynette is quite ruthless as a character. She's pretty ruthless when it comes to the deeds, right? And her thought process is, my dad has put me on this mission and I'm going to like make him proud. I'm going to get it done no matter the cost and in the most efficient way possible, because we need to be quick, because this is something that's constantly happening. Like, we don't really have that much time to dilly-dally, which will put her into more ruthless positions, like potentially killing the target, like when there isn't like another option that's obvious and stuff like that. She has that kind of sort of outlook on things. Hello, Z. Corny, on the other hand, his philosophy is much more like he doesn't want to hurt anyone. He thinks that the world can be fixed. There is a perfect solution to everything where everyone's happy. That's sort of where Corny comes from. He comes from a very naive perspective. And any kind of faltering in that is his fault. He fucked up. That's his problem, you know? But like, the point of the story isn't necessarily that either of them are wrong in that perspective. Or I guess it's more of that they're both kind of wrong in their perspective. It's a big sort of... They're kind of going to butt heads a lot with that, and they're going to kind of come to this synthesis through the story, which is actually closer to what Casper's position is, but Casper's not going to tell them that position, because Casper knows the only way, because he's gone through it himself, the only way to actually hit that thought process is to do it yourself. You have to reach that conclusion on your own, or it doesn't fucking matter, chat. So yeah, it's a great big old thing going on with those two. So yes, they will be challenging each other quite a bit, and then also you can throw in the other characters and how their perspectives on things mesh and lock into those concepts as well. Because like Lynette sees Corny in a very selfish light, like a very cowardly, selfish light of like, you're not willing to help more people because you're just like, you're too scared to actually do what has to be done. And like, you're gonna end up like, oh, you're gonna play all high and mighty about it, but you're gonna get more people hurt in the end. Like, we're doing this because we have to do this. So like, bite the bullet on that shit and actually do it. Because that's what you took your oaths for, you know? That's why you signed, that's part of what you signed up for. You have to. It's more than just helping this little individual person because you feel bad about having to squash them, basically. I got thrown into the fucking ads. So I'm just gonna wait. Just gonna wait, chat. I'm gonna finish these shadings, then I'll probably be done, because I just realized it's 3. Just realized it was 3. Holy shit. There, you're released. You should be released anyway. Actually, I've seen her getting up in the face, up in his face in one of your dailies. But how mean or cruel has she been to Corny, and how does Corny deal with that? She's quite mean to Corny, at first, especially. Because, the thing with Lynette is, with her thinking that she's sort of baseline, right, as an individual, she finds that Corny not knowing things that she thinks is common knowledge about magic and the cosmos itself to be very, like, you're just an idiot, you're just stupid, you're choosing to be dumb. Like, she's a terrible teacher, basically. But that's how she kind of sees it. So she and then on top of the fact that him doing anything to have helped her when they first meet just leaves this negative impression because it makes her feel inferior, adds to that as well. So yes, she's quite nasty to Corny, and one thing that Corny can't deal with very well is, even with like his sort of the empathetic abilities he has, like his ability to kind of understand what other people are feeling, the one thing he's really having a hard time dealing with is when people sort of, he does not deal with people making fun of him very well. Like it upsets him quite a bit. Hi, Cricket. It upsets him quite a bit, and so they actually have quite a tumultuous sort of relationship early on in the story. They fight quite a bit. The meme, you're so freaking selfish. I'm literally 12. Yeah. But Corny also thinks Lynette's selfish, so you can kind of do it both ways. Really? Yeah, like he does, and it's like, you know, it comes a bit from his own hardships in his life, why he has such a hard time, even when he knows they're jokes, actually dealing with people making fun of him. But it's one of those things, like, they'll end up sort of having to push past those as they interact more, slowly but surely. And, you know, Casper talking to them and giving them little bits of advice and things like that. They'll work it out, chat. They'll work it out. Again, the idea I always have of Grimm Deeds in my brain is like, they start out, it's from back when it was odd, and there was like, when they eat at like a cafeteria, there's Lynette back here, and she's got like an evil dark cloud above her, and there's Corny here, and he's kind of like, uh-oh, kind of like, oh geez, what's going on there? And then they're kind of forced to interact, and they're, stop scratching my chair, stop it! There we go. And then they're kind of, you know, they're kind of annoyed that they have to interact. And then by the end of it, they're like happy to interact. That's sort of their trajectory. They're very long built friendship, I guess. Hard fought friendship, I suppose we could call it. And it's just always been the visual I've used to represent the idea. The meme is about a kid wanting to save everyone, so it applies more to Corny. That's true. Also, now that I think about it, this also applies to Annette, so I guess I retract my statement. Yeah, because, yeah, she does want to help people. Her goal is the same as Casper's. It's to save the cosmos. It's just the factor of she is more aware of that stuff isn't as easy or peachy keen, or the cosmos is a cruel place, and sometimes, you know, like, life's a cruel thing, and sometimes the people who deserve to win lose. And it's just because that's how it works. Like, there's going to be some very tough choices in Grimm Deeds, but there'll be choices that have to be made. And I think it'll be a very interesting thing. Again, one of the things that Grimm Deeds is about is consequences, right? So It'll be a very fun thing to play with for little old me. I like that Corny isn't necessarily wrong in how he wants better solutions to problems, but he still has a left right. Well, yeah, he's not wrong. He wants better solutions, and those will end up, you know, helping him reach the ultimate conclusion he ends up reaching. It's like, he's got a good heart. He wants to help people. But he has like a very simple way of what helps people, you know? He wants to help everybody. You know, he wants to help every single individual he can, and it's a factor of, you can't do that necessarily with the situations they're dealing with. It's too serious. Like he's the kind of kid who wouldn't be able to pull someone off life support when they're a vegetable, that kind of thing. And it's like, it's not that's not wrong. It's just, it's an impossible standard when you're now also someone who's in charge of countless lives, and you actually sort of, like, when you're in charge of countless lives, you kind of have to start not thinking about the individual as much and start worrying about things on a more collective scale. But that doesn't necessarily mean you should forget the individual either, which is sort of Lynette's problem. Lynette works from a massive top-down perspective. She doesn't really operate in the realm of each individual. She doesn't want to kill people at all. She doesn't want to have to end a life. She doesn't like doing it. It is just a factor of, like, if there is no other option, what can you do? And we can't, like, risk things. That's the main thing. It's a risk assessment, right, chat? It's like, we can't afford to wait forever to try and find a solution to this problem. Sometimes it has to be dealt with. And so, you know, in her mind, it's better to deal with it, you know? Do you want the red pill or the blue pill? I feel like in the Matrix, though, the red pill and the blue pill have some much more significant moral weights to them. This is like a neither of them are really correct. They both are, and they have to work to find a synthesis of those points to try and make a better position. Again, which is why Casper has his position. Casper's position is, when push comes to shove, you must do what's done. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't. Like, that. The issue with Lynette is she might come to that conclusion quicker than she should because she's so focused on the macro scale of things. With Casper, he appreciates individual life just as much as he appreciates life overall, and that pushes him to sort of want to find solutions, but he's more willing than Corny is to go that extra step when those options become untenable. Corny is to a fault. Can I make a purple pill? I don't know. Are you allowed to do that, dude? Corny is altruistic to a fault. That might be a way to say it, chat. Altruistic to a fault. Because there definitely is such a thing as being too altruistic. And it can be just as bad for you as being completely selfish. Oh, alright. Go finish that book. I like that Lynette's stray hair looks like demon horns in her silhouette. That's what I think it was Morb that said that, or maybe it was Enzo. Or maybe it was Quack. One of those three said it. I feel like Sleepy Lynette is a rare sight. Yeah. I would say Sleepy Lynette's a rare sight. Lynette likes to sort of keep herself proper. You would not see a Sleepy Lynette very often. At all. And you wouldn't really have many opportunities to, because she's got her own bathroom, so she would just go there in the morning and sort of fix herself up before even leaving her room. Yes, it is a rare sight. It's funny who I get lumped together with. You're all the same kind of rancid piece of shit, so. You know, it's like, does the turd have corn in it or not? Does it really matter that much? What, you expecting me to just give you like a nice comment after that? No. No. Yeah, Lynette actually has a... Lynette's an interesting kind of character because she cares what people think about her, but like in a very specific way. She definitely wants to be perceived like she has it all together, but she doesn't really give that much of a shit if, like, let's say you think she looks weird. It's very specifically about she wants to give off a vibe to people, and if she does not give off that vibe to people, that upsets her, and like makes her annoyed. But it's not as simple as just like, oh, I'm self-conscious. It's a very complicated kind of self-conscience where she doesn't really give a shit what people think about her because she thinks she's better than them. But those people she doesn't give a shit about also have to know that she's better than them. They should be perceiving her that way, or she's doing something wrong. She hasn't proven that she's better than them yet. And obviously that's sort of like a response to her kind of feeling like she's inadequate and mediocre in comparison to people like her father. It's this whole thing of like, you know, I as an individual, right, am the norm. And therefore I have to like, you know, fake it till I make it, prop myself up kind of thing. But if anyone else sees through my mask, I will crumble into pieces. Apathy and tragedy. Thank you for the follow, actually. I appreciate that. Thank you. I like Doc Quack more, as they both mean the same thing. Ah. Quackmorb. We'll switch usernames and Grave will never know. Oddly, I get what she means. I like how, it's like how I was during elementary school. I got put in the gifted program. You saw yummy art and I just eat. I see. Well, welcome. It's a... I hope you've enjoyed the conversation enough at least as well. As to the rest of you, I hope you guys liked it well enough. You guys have been having fun listening to learn a bit more about the Grimm Deeds that transpire. Completely forgot to shadow this part of Corny. What a fool I am. A little. There we go. Alright, looks similar to things I enjoy, so yummy art, I see. Brave reads my beautiful name suggestion and goes, eh? This bastard. Yes. Alright, chat. I have gone over time, but we got some scribbles. And we've had some chats. Where is that fucking chain thing? There it is. I hope you hello Tato, right at the end. You want to live up to people's expectations because you've been told you're really smart and mature. You feel very self-conscious when people see past that and still treat you like a kid. Yeah, that's a good way to say it. See, that is definitely a way, but it's also like you then reflexively go, no. You reflexively go, nuh-uh, you're wrong, you're stupid, who cares about what you think? I'm the best. She's sort of contradictive in that way. But yes. Alright, I'm gonna call it here, chat. Thank you for hanging out with me. Of course. I'll be back tomorrow with I'm now conflicted on I'll either do the outfit stuff or I'll do more of the comics. I'm not entirely sure which one I'm gonna do yet. I'm gonna kind of flip a coin for it, and I'll let you guys know tomorrow. But I've got commissions and shit I have to do. So, see you all tomorrow. It's time for me to scream and disintegrate away. Oh no!